experienced streamer. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to episode 64 of the A-listers, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? I need to get Vel to add Vator to this thing. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're yet to do so. Big up to every single one of you guys. We are closing in on 42.8k. Let's get there so we can then get to 43k and hopefully, inshallah, step by step, try get to 50k subscribers. Now, big up to all of you guys. Slap the like button on your way in. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're yet to do so. Every single one of you guys right here, right now, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. I've got a bunch of losers in the background except one guy, so let me introduce him first. Joining us first and foremost, replacing Egal, because Egal got a night shift today. You get me? The man, the myth, the legend. I can't believe what he's wearing, but he's just... Dayo is one of one, ladies and gentlemen. There is no one like him. I swear. I actually fully enjoy working with this guy. I swear. Hi, Dayo. How you doing, brother?
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. It's Christmas season and I'm happy. Hey, I'm filling in for Egal. Don't worry, man. Sorry, hold on. You guys, I have to do this live on air. You guys keep it quiet in there. Close the door to your rooms and have fun. Don't come to my office. Bye-bye. Don't come and spoil my mood. Thank you very much. All right, people. Yeah. It's this is episode what? This is my first time on A-listers, by the way. So I'm sitting in for Egal. I'm here to represent Arsenal as usual. It's Christmas season, so that's why you see me in my snowman sweater, like right here, Anzi glasses, and of course, when we talk about Man City, the mask is here for them. The 115. We are here. We are here.
Love to see it. Damn, I've got 3 losers in the background. Okay, there's a guy who drew, to be fair. You get me? So, joining us next on the channel, he isn't a loser. He drew. And he's replacing Lewis for today's stream. Virgil van Dijk from Wish is in the building. I love this guy, I swear. I really enjoy working with all the guys in the background, genuinely. Ahmedinho in the building. How doing, Ahmed? You're on mute, mate. Experienced streamer, the Bridge Nation. Everyone subscribe, can't even. Hi.
Listen, welcome back, everyone. Hope you do. I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. Listen, man, I'm doing amazing. Sensational, man. We'll keep it pushing.
What was that? Ahmed.
That's it?
Yeah,
that's
man,
your intro? Nothing like, hi guys, thank you for having me. I'm enjoying doing this show. This is amazing. Like the video, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. You just
I mean,
that's it. That's it, Ahmed. You won't even speak for 15 seconds.
But Sam, you know what it is? Whenever
What?
Ahmed lets his hair down, he can talk. But when he ties his hair up and we can't see it, it ties
Yeah,
his
this is true.
This
is true.
I've noticed this.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who noticed this.
When the hair is down, you're feeling like Marin Fellaini, right? From which
I think.
Huh?
No. Listen, no. Honestly, obviously, guys, make sure obviously to like, share, subscribe, and it's obviously a pleasure to be here. You know that, man. Already.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. Ahmed is back, baby. Let's go. Joining us next on the channel, they lose every week. It's nothing special. They lose every week. The cherries. Spam the cherries in the chat. Because these guys got done by the cherries, guys. By the cherries. 3-0. At this point, it's not just like Liverpool on United. Bournemouth on United. And Arsenal on United. And Liverpool on... The only team that's incapable of owning United is Chelsea at this point. Hi, Shikh. How you doing, Akhi?
Big up to everyone. Unlike Ahmed, make sure you guys obviously smash the like and subscribe to Hussam and everyone on the panel. But yeah, man, I just want to let you know, Hussam, like if my internet cuts out, it's because I'm in the middle of a storm at this moment. So it is what it is. Yeah. They're just letting you know. If something happens, it's because I'm in the
That's crazy because the chair is right next to the lightning bolt and there's nothing
it is, but hey, I'm just disclaimer. I'm putting out a disclaimer. I'm in the middle of a storm.
It might be Shikh.
So...
it might be Shikh though. It might even be a storm. I'm hearing it might be the mice eating the
already vamos! Already below the belt strike here from Ahmed.
Listen,
that's what I heard, man. That's what I've been hearing, man.
Right
what
in
I
his
heard.
guts. Hey, don't even respond to
This
that.
man,
'cause there is
this
no
man
response
is in the
to
middle
me.
of a storm, and instead
man.
of you to sit down.
Listen, Manchester United have been hit by a mice infestation, ladies.
This is okay. So this is because of the storm. You know, like it's raining, mice are out there.
if
The
it was
roof
because of
is
the storm, the
leaking.
mice will
Like
hide. You
all of
fraud.
this is all of this. Well,
No, it
hey,
takes- it usually
there's
brings them
the
out.
truth is they're talking
It's
about
worse.
Manchester United has been hit with a mice infestation. There's a rat who plays for us week in week out, anyway. So nobody wants to talk about that. But there's a literal rat who plays for us week in week out. But all of a sudden now there's a mice infestation. Okay, man, this rat's been here for like 2 or 3 seasons. So
Speaking of
just saying.
mice,
I'm a rat, man.
Hey,
1
hey,
in 12.
relax, relax.
1 in 12. You get me? Way worse than a mice infestation. Yeah. At this point, it's a virus. You get me? 1 in 12. That's crazy, mate. That's crazy, akhi. 1 win in 12 games. Southampton have more wins in the last 12 games, ladies and gentlemen, than Manchester City. And they sacked, what's his name again? Russell Brand?
Russell Martin.
Who's Russell Brand?
Doesn't
I think
that-
Russell
Actor-
Brand is,
actor.
if I'm not mistaken, a comedian.
Actor
yeah,
comedian.
comedian, actor, comedian. I was about to say.
Well, Vator is a comedian with his football takes. Hi, Vator. How you doing, brother?
Wow.
I'm doing very well. Good to see everybody.
I love you, baby.
Yes, I do have excellent comedic timing. That's why I get invited on some of these A-listers. I'm gonna say this to each and every one of you.
I'm not gonna have you lie on my name. Man said some. You're in the group chat now. Have some respect and decorum to the audience.
Listen. I'm still in interim right now because I need to work some things out in the backstage work-wise. So this is not a permanent thing. Don't get comfortable seeing me every week. I'm also gonna say this.
Yeah, because you might get relegated, so we'll get
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I'll say this. I'll say this to you.
we'll
Dayo.
invite you next year to the B-listers, innit? I'll get the Aston Villa palace.
Let me see how you. Let me
Division
see how
2
each and every one of you
Division 2
respond to this
listers.
question. If I were to tell you, 4 years from now, you're gonna win a 4-peat, but the 5th year, you're gonna be 1 in 12. Are you guys taking it?
No.
Okay, I know who the winners are.
I am,
know who the.
100%.
Thank
I'm-
you.
yeah.
Yes, thank you. I
Anyone
knew
that
you
says
would.
that is
I
lying.
knew you
I'm
were
taking it.
sensible,
Osam,
Hussam.
you know I said no. You know I said no. This guy is a
4
fraud.
league titles in a row.
Right.
Hey, 1 in 15. عادي حبيبي يلا.
Osam,
bring it, bring it.
I don't
Reason
know
I said
that
no,
line,
I
bro.
said no to Vator because Vator is a fraud. You know what he does? He phrases now in hindsight that you won 4 in a row. If you had not won 4 in a row, and you are at this point 1 in 12, yet at the rate at which you are going, Man City, you are going 1 in 15. That's when you start winning. I guarantee you, it's 1 in 15. That 115 will be complete this season.
Dayo, if you tell me,
end of January.
the next
No.
4 years I'm gonna win the Prem,
The issue
and
is
I'm gonna
they play
finish
Everton
The
and
issue,
Leicester.
the issue is you're talking
and I'm going to
hindsight.
finish 17th in
Yeah,
year 5, I'm taking that.
Vator.
Okay, guys, can we not
He
fight
said
already? Stop.
Yeah,
Big
Dayo's
up
always
everyone.
fighting. He's wearing the
Big up
Hollywood
everyone.
colors and he's fighting all.
Listen, we're 10 minutes into the show. 400 people locked in. We ain't even at 100 likes yet. How do you expect me to mock Arsenal or mock Chelsea or mock Spurs if we can't even get to 100 likes? You know why? Because you're all a bunch of frauds. 400 people in here. Close the live chat. Hit the like button. Continue to enjoy the show because today is going to be special. You get me? The reason why Ahmed is on top row, it's because by definition, it draws better than loss in it. So these two frauds are on the bottom
I'm
row.
the second in the league.
Yeah, and he's second to be fair. So
Come on,
yeah.
man.
Listen, like, subscribe, every single one of you. Yalla, let's do this. And we are going to be starting off with Manchester City because they are the team that lost this week again. Vator, you know what it is? I'm getting to the stage where, like, even when I work with you or Nobbins or Martin or Hamza or Patrick, like, I don't even know how to introduce these City segments anymore. At the start, I was having like, oh, fun and banter, and I'm still enjoying it. I hope we get liquidated, but I don't even know how to intro the section. I'm like, they lost again. Like,
Yeah,
what's
not to be your
going on?
copywriter, I would say 4-peat winners lose again is how I would intro any City fan moving forward. I think that's what you should do. Like, whether it's me, Patrick, Martin, Nobbins, LB, just say, and coming to the stage, 4-peat.
That's not gonna happen, mate.
I think it hits.
Go ahead. Anyway,
I think
what
hits
the hell is
different.
happening at this point?
I think, yeah. At this point, this result again, this poor result was expected. Honestly, it's expected now. There's no turnaround happening here. There isn't. Like we are in a situation where, and this is why I had to phrase that question to Dayo and expose him for the fraud that he is. if you are going to have a season where you're essentially winning 4 in a row and doing some magical things, right? Doing things that were magical for Shikh that Shikh witnessed. I mean, not quite doing the invincible, but doing something magical like a 4-peat, which no one could imagine. If the next year is going to be something like this, I'm not lying. Like, this isn't copium. I'm not lying to you. I'm taking it. I'm gladly accepting it because I saw the impossible. In the game in itself, I don't know what these guys need to do more. I don't know what Pep needs to do in terms of the combination of play or how he sets them up, to be honest with you, because it seems like whatever he does, someone finds a way to mess it up. Whether it's an individual player mistake, whether it's maybe a late sub that maybe should be instructed. Like, I'm listening to some of you rivals in terms of telling me, oh, well, if you're leading, then concede possession or drop back and defend your 18-yard box. Like, just see how to win. There's so many things happening over Manchester City that right now I'm like, if we're going to lose, we're going to lose. Just keep me out of 17. Keep me out of 17th place. Player to player, I was really happy with what I saw from a few in terms of the fight that I asked for. I want the players that aren't fighting for this manager exposed. And if it happens to be the majority of them, I want them all gone. Whoever aren't playing for Pep, who's renewed for 2 more years, if you're not going to listen to his instructions, I want you gone. If you're punking out and you're not ready to fight for this poor form that we're dealing with, I want you gone. And at the same time, Pep's doing as much as he can to protect these players, to be honest with you, because he's not baiting them out and saying, I need more players in the January transfer window, which would say these guys aren't good enough. He's also saying, I want the bodies that aren't available because of injury, I need them back. He's got confidence in every available player being available healthy to turn this around. But until we play lesser competition, and I thought we were playing lesser competition, no disrespect, Shikh, but I thought when we were playing against United, that was like, okay, we'll turn things around. But in a derby, anything happens. I'm probably looking now at Leicester, and even that, I'm not confident in terms of saying I'm going to get a win. This is a madness, guys. I don't know where to point blame. You guys do enough of that for me. So another loss, another now 1 in 12. And let's see what kind of holiday gift I can get on Boxing Day.
Fair enough.
Anyone want red carpet to speak?
Yeah. Hey, Vator, why do you?
I think we got more guests about wants to talk. So,
Vator, why is it that when you always try to bring up Man City, you talk about the 4-peat and how no one's ever done the 4-peat? But why don't you ever acknowledge how no one's ever been 1 in 12 either? None of us in our worst ever stages have been in 1 in 12. Even with our worst ever managers.
But I think they go hand in hand. I think you're right. Like the
But that also kind of like that highlights the issue currently is that, yes, I see that like after a 4-peat, the hunger might not be there. There might be a drop off, this and that, but a 1 in 12 type of drop off, that just tells me that there's problems. There's big problems. There's problems within the squad. People need to be replaced. You can look at it as as City fans can look at it as like these players are burnt out after winning 4 leagues in a row. But at the same time, if we rate Pep to be one of the great managers in the Premier League, then we expect him to try to we expect him to not be 1 in 12. We expect him to figure things out along the way. That's the issue for me. That is what the issue is. And that's why I feel like it's every time we talk about City are going to come back and they're going to sign players in January and this and that. That's why I feel like this is different, because we have seen City be in bad form and then come back in March and February. I say this all the time, but we've never seen City go 1 in 12 in this whole period. So that's why I just feel like this time it is different. And how much more worse can it get? I know January is only like maybe 2 weeks away, but how much worse could it get up until January, where that point differential is much massive now? Because like you said, it's the United
the point
game.
Differential doesn't matter.
You were winning till the 88th minute United game. These are some games like you have thrown away, basically. Like you have played well in some games.
The point differential does not matter anymore. Winning this league is not the focus of this club at this time.
They should be top 4, no?
None of that. None of it. There's no should have been. Like, you guys can talk about we should be this. I'm accustomed to my club doing this. You guys can speak that way. I'm not speaking that way of this Manchester City because of what happened, because of what they're dealing with. So expectations, the
I'm not
arrogance
saying-
of the birthright of I need to be top 4 because that's what my club is built on. That's
No.
not the
But I'm not
approach
saying
having
that though.
with
Like
Augusta.
you, from at least if you know, from a City perspective, your perspective should have been, I'm here to win the title. Right? That's the perspective.
That's what it
We're
was.
doing the-
start the
exactly-
season,
wait,
that's what
wait,
it
wait,
was.
that's what I'm saying. So right, so that's your main aim. Obviously, so far that is not. It's not looking like that's going to happen this season. But then that there should still be a moral sort of like the matter of like, okay, still a January where we can sort of, you know, help ourselves a little bit more. Top 4, even 5th, 4th, 5th should be the aim to get you that UCL football at
No.
the very least.
No.
I disagree.
You know,
No.
I
You can
disagree
disagree.
with
You're
that take.
Chelsea. You're looking
Ahmed,
at
you
it
know,
differently.
Ahmed, you
I've
know-
heard
you
you.
know-
Dayo,
you know-
1 second. I've heard Ahmed talk about Chelsea. We play for titles. We You look at it as playing in this UCL, the mini UCL, is like a disrespect to your club. It's irrelevant. Okay, that arrogance is not over here. We're about winning the next game, and if we win the next game with the effort and the execution that's required, then we should go on and win the next game, and then momentum. There is no top 4. We're not foreseeing any of that. It's about the next game. So I'm not talking about any where we should be and what we should be at the end of the season. I'm dealing with this next game versus Leicester, and this is the problem. This club should only be focused on the next game.
Everton.
As a fan,
sorry,
as a fan, that's what you would be saying. But
I
for
know
the
you're
guys on the
fixed up,
pitch,
don't
but
worry.
here's the thing though, like this poor run of form that City has, I say this, it's on Pep. This poor run of form is on Pep. One of the reasons I'll say that, I said this to Vator on another stream, and I don't think maybe because he thinks I like to banter him a lot. But the truth is, if Pep had also declared earlier last season or the season before that he was staying, no, hear what I'm saying. If he had made up his mind on time, maybe your last summer window, there's certain players who you could have gone for that would have come and said, because they're going to work with Pep, they would have come to City. People were already anticipating he might be leaving. There's charges. So certain players that you could have gotten, again, did not come. And then the ones that did come that you got were not good enough.
So sorry, Dayo. Just so I'm clear. Yeah, hold on. Just so I'm clear with what you're saying. Dayo, just so I'm clear with what you're saying. Because Pep, in his final year right now, right? It's his final year of the contract, but he's already extended. But this would have been his final year. So because the year before his final year, he didn't commit to Manchester City, you're proposing. Let me say this. You're proposing that we missed out on signings because they chose not to come to City because of the pending.
No, not just listen to this. Do you know that a lot of players, because of how good the manager is or the project, would like to work with that manager? I'm saying this based on the fact that Pep is the greatest manager that we've seen in our generation of this year, this time, the last 10 years. So players would want to work with him, and if he's not stating his longevity with the club, there's that sense of, and then there's the charges. They might be like, okay, I don't know where he's going next. So they might be waiting patiently, which is what I'm saying. You ended up getting the players that he eventually settled for, which is the Kovacic. Hold on, wait, the Kovacic's and the
no, those were 2 years ago.
I know,
those were 2 years ago. Your logic is flawed if you're talking that way.
Just here, Vator. If you let me finish, I said this could be one of the problems. I didn't say it's the main problem. There's a lot of problems that you have. I'm not your.
No, but your timeline's not making sense when you're talking about potential signings.
I am listing players that you eventually settled for that are not good enough to replace the awesome players that you have right now. When you had the Yaya Tourés, you had the likes of Rodri coming, you had the likes of Gundogan, you had the likes of these guys coming behind them. Now that they're fading out, the people that you have coming in are no good. That's number one. Number two.
But your contract your contract logic is flawed.
Number two, a manager not stating what he wants to do. If there's players that would have loved to work with him there, they probably will sit it out. Their agents will sit it out. So you assume that people looking at City outside saying, "Oh, there's charges. We don't know what's going to happen. Pep might leave. Pep might not leave." Would you want to go to such a club? No matter how great the club is, it's unstable for you as a.
Okay, so can I respond to this?
Also, there's something I want to mention just quickly, Vator. Here's the thing.
So your recruitment,
your logic,
that's what it is.
Your logic applies to an extent, which is we won the 4-peat, we're having an off season, blah blah blah. That's fine. but we're questioning the limits of the off season,
Yes.
because off seasons also need to be respectable off seasons at least. Like, and right now the problem that you have is even top 4 is in doubt. That's the issue that City have currently
That's what I
as
was
things
saying,
stand.
yeah.
Like, you know, you can't have the likes of, you can have an off season, but you can't have the likes of Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, and Aston Villa be above you. That's not off season. That's way below standards and expectations. And you can't for the rest of time just go like, okay, so if next year you have a bad year, are you gonna go like, oh, we won the 4-peat, and the year after that are gonna go
now
like,
you're going
oh, we
too
won
far.
the
I'm talking
4-peat?
about this season. I'm
It's
talking
gonna be
about
a
year
thing
5.
forever
Yeah,
because
but
when
you
I
can't have.
Let me
You can't
hold
have
on.
a
Hold on.
pressure
Ahmed,
season.
no,
let me
no, don't
land,
stack onto Hussam because I also didn't get a chance to deal with Dayo. All right,
I was
so let
gonna
me deal
add
with
to his
Dayo.
last point. That's what I was saying. You
Yeah,
can't have
but
a crash out
then I'm gonna
season
have to deal with
where
what
we
you're
finished
saying.
top.
Oh,
Honestly, you
God.
can't have a
All right,
crash
go
out
ahead,
season
go
where we
ahead.
finish top. That's all. The point I was just gonna add quickly is that you can't have a crash out season. Yeah, but maybe something that maybe United's having or we had as well. Yeah, where we finished 12th. Like that is gonna be like, I feel like in your case, maybe less so compared to the case of both United and myself, is gonna be crazy in my personal opinion. If you were to finish in that sort of position,
Okay.
that's what I'm gonna say.
All right, that's what you're going to say. Now, okay, let me work backwards so I can remember all this stuff. If Chelsea can finish 12th and recover after that, so can City. If Liverpool can finish and play Europa and recover after that, so can City. All right, we're talking about two clubs with tremendous success in history. They've faltered and they've gotten back. Now, with regards to Dayo, which is, he brought it up again on the second stream, which is so annoying to me, is because when he wants to talk about who we've signed because of Pep not committing, Pep committed this year. Let's not use Pep not committing to deal with the signings of a Kovacic and Nunez, which were 2 seasons ago. Now, if you want to say that there were signings that City were not able to acquire because Pep was pending, if someone extended a contract, if someone transferred somewhere else, we've lost. Okay, we lost on those players. But if a player didn't make the move and now Pep has committed 2 more years, Dayo, to your point, we can now go out and sign these players that we're waiting to see what the certainty was going to be with Pep. And I happen to believe that there wasn't a madness of losing out on these players this past summer transfer window. The big names are still all out there. No one really made major moves. That's my point. So your logic about Pep and signings,
You
we
basically
need to dead
conflated-
that
you
because
basically
moving forward,
conflated-
he's
you
committed.
conflated two
We'll see
things
what
I
we
said.
do in the summertime.
You conflated two things that I said. I said first, that's why I said 1 and 2. You weren't listening again, Vader.
I was listening. I'm dealing with that logic.
What did
The
I say?
1 and 2.
What was-
Let me
what
deal
was
with
the
that
one?
logic and put
What was
that to
the one?
bed.
Vader, what was the one? The one was I said your signings were rubbish. That's one. I said
Okay,
2, another,
Dayo.
and then hold on. Then I said 2, another reason why maybe last summer, which is exactly what I said just last summer, why maybe certain players would not have wanted to come to City. Not because City is a bad club, but because, hey, they weren't sure if Pep, the greatest manager, was going to stay. So I'm talking about 2 situations here.
Yeah.
One is your previous.
I didn't argue
signing-
your first point.
Yeah,
That's
your
why I didn't
previous
bring it
signing-
up. Your
I'm
first
saying
point's fine. Everybody
and I
thinks
said-
they're
and I said
rubbish.
the
They're rubbish.
second-
Fine.
yeah.
I didn't deal with your first point. I
Mhm,
dealt
and
with
this
your
is what-
second point, and you
and the
still don't
second
listen to
point-
my second point.
Yeah,
When
go
I
on.
when I
Now
tell
we'll
you,
see. Now that he's committed, we will see.
okay,
we'll see
it's
the type of
another
players.
maybe. You said maybe we didn't get the signings, and
That's
now
why I
it's
said
another maybe.
That's
We'll
what I'm
see.
saying. We'll see if now
Alright.
you guys, because now he's committed, maybe you'll see the difference in certain players that you'll go for if they'll want to come now. Because I think that as a player, I'm talking from a player's perspective. If I'm going to work with Pep and he's not going to be at that club, why go there? You see what I'm saying? Like, why go there?
Okay, well, yeah.
You probably want to go to where
All
Pep
right, so
is
you're
going.
the same player, Dayo. You're talking from a player's perspective. You're the same player. You're wondering, okay, is Pep going to be there? Can I commit? Pep's now going to be here for 2 years. You're the same player that had doubts. Now you're committing.
Well, I've got 2 seasons now with him. Now that I'm sure he's going to be there for 2 seasons. Like 2 seasons is a long
Yeah.
time greatest manager, dude.
Yeah.
1 season with Pep,
Right.
it would be amazing as well. You're missing,
Exactly.
I'm just
Exactly.
rating. Listen,
So the
I'm
players
rating,
that were kind of not too sure, they
I'm
should be
rating-
locked in now.
listen, I'm rating based on Pep. I'm saying Pep is that good that if players know that he's going to be somewhere, certain
Yes.
caliber of players will want
Yes,
to also
and
come
he's
there. And
committed for
that's
2 years now. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So that
Okay.
commitment is a good thing because now this window you will see the difference. The signings you made already, we've agreed, were not good enough. But now we'll see the difference because now he's here for a longer period. That's all I'm saying. I'm not dissing Pep and I'm not dissing your club. if there's uncertainty,
I didn't
people
say you were
will not-
dissing. I'm saying you're a little too far reaching with this City
No,
missed
but if
out
people-
on signings.
You,
That's my
can I just say, I thought
But
like,
if it's not
point-
far-reaching, then what else is the explanation? Then what? City don't have money? You sold Alvarez for 95 million.
Yeah,
I
we
think
sold
City
him, and we
believe-
didn't
I
find
think-
we don't have the right replacement to sign him at the time. And as a Liverpool fan, you should understand the strategy with regards to scouting. Sometimes
Yeah,
you
but
gotta
your
wait
owners
for-
are not American. Your owners are Middle Eastern, and they want to win under all circumstances.
No,
Which is why I want Middle Eastern owners at my
Our owners
Don't you
don't-
dare compare Sheikh Mansour to FSG.
But-
Stop it.
our owners are still intelligent with their signings. They don't just splash cash. So
But
I'm
they
not
are-
telling you
but
you
they
should
have-
splash
one
cash.
sec. No,
Ederson's
you have
available for
splash
40
cash.
There is a
million.
You
point,
have
but-
splash
but-
cash though.
No,
You
but
splash
there's-
Yeah, you
cash from
have them.
defenders. You
Yeah.
literally splash the most
But-
cash from defenders.
I would actually
We-
make the
we
argument though,
literally
in the
spent
last
most
2
of
Fullbacks
it.
years,
and goalkeepers and stuff, haven't you?
in the
I
last
haven't
2
seen you done
years, in the last 2 years, you have not. I think in the last you haven't splashed as much cash as if you've used to.
I'll
And
tell you
and
when
I
we
think
splash.
part of that, and I think part of that is actually due to like the charges, and maybe you guys trying
Yeah.
to look a bit more like we're moving like the regular,
Like
classic-
financially, basically, like correct.
Yeah,
and shit.
exactly. That's it, bro. That's what I want to say.
That's the
Which
right.
we are doing.
That's the right thing to do.
Yeah,
You
but
have to
Vator,
manage-
then there must be an
you have to
explanation
manage-
for it.
You have to manage the process.
Because
I'll
even if
give
you are a financially solid team, then you sell Alvarez for 85 million, reinvest the 85 million.
Yes,
And if you want
Okay,
examples,
right.
no one is saying go sign Musiala 100 million, Ederson 40 million, Zubimendi 40 million, yalla. Khalas, done.
Yeah,
It doesn't, have
it's-
to, it
it's
doesn't
okay.
have to be like a 1-for-1 trade. You can use
If
that
we
money
could
to get
convince
4 or
Zubimendi,
5
then so
players
could you.
that could help your situation. That's what we're
Exactly.
basically saying.
you
Injuries
did
happen to
convince
everyone.
Zubimendi.
Injuries happen to everyone. I can say the same thing about Arsenal. So they could have avoided the Saka injury had they got players in the summer to play
Guys,
to
no, but-
not play Saka every single week. Like,
Okay,
it's
let's
stuff
let's
like
not
that. It's
let's
those type
let's
of
not be the
conversations.
let's not be the fans that think that everything's done perfectly. Let's not be the fans that think that clubs spend money like this every year. All right. When we see it at a Chelsea, when we see it at a United, a Liverpool, an Arsenal, a Spurs, a City, there's seasons where you're spending, there's seasons where you're flat, and there's seasons where you net whatever, net win or net loss, profit, however you want to look at it. This happens to be a City season where we didn't spend. When we spent heavily, when we splashed the cash, when we found the right targets, right age, and the right timing, we went out and did a madness because look at all the talent we got before we did the Centurions. When we did the same thing, again, if you want to talk about plateaus, if you want to talk about being strategic, when we splashed the cash again, when we waited a couple seasons and didn't get a striker, but then we went in big for a Holland, we got Holland, Alvarez, Ortega, Akanji. And what'd we do? We did a madness. We got the trouble. So there's going to be seasons like this, guys. Let's not all be crybabies and expect our club to spend year after year every year, get better. It's business. Sometimes you got
part of it. I think part of the issue at City was I think you believed in your squad a bit too much. You should have realized
and that recruitment was
and that happens. And that happens.
No, but I feel like
How much
the
is
thing is like
Nunes?
Vader,
How much
you're
is
only
Nunes? How much
you're
is
only
Nunes?
saying
I
this.
can't hear all of you guys. Who's talking?
Go on, Dayo, go on. My bad.
I said, how much was Matthias Nunes? How much do you spend on Kovacic? How much do you spend on Guardiola? How much do you spend on all these players that have just
50,
come out?
40, 70.
You're talking about big money here. These are not small money signings. So to say that, oh yeah, number one, the recruitment we've highlighted that. City, the reason and I think one, and I say one of the, there might be many other reasons, but I think one of the many other reasons why you're not spending is also because of this pending charges. If it turns out that these charges are wrong and you guys are found innocent, great stuff.
It costs money to fight these charges.
Exactly. But if it turns out that it's whatever it is, we'll see the outcome. But
You can't do this. You can't do this.
No.
Wait, sorry, Dad. He made a comment. I have to attack a little bit. Yeah, where he said it costs money to fight these charges. Brother, that's not
you know why?
Wait, what's wrong with that comment?
You got divide earnings, bro. We can't
Ahmed,
do this argument.
What are you talking
of
about?
Like, it costs money to fight charges. It's not costing. Listen,
let me say this right.
Your guy
Lawyers
is a
cost money,
billionaire.
Ahmed. What are you talking about? What
No,
world are you living in?
I'm just saying that is not like
I
a
ignored that
consensus
statement.
issue.
You know why? Do you know why?
What's he
Do
doing?
you know why I ignored that statement? Ahmed?
Lawyers cost money.
Ahmed, do you know why I ignored that statement? Your lawyers are on what do you guys call this thing?
Retainers?
On a monthly retainer standard.
Yes.
You've had them on pay already.
No, they
So
no, they
listen, no. So stop, Vator. Let's not be disingenuous.
they still hit the books,
Listen,
Dayo. What are you
listen.
talking about?
You want, but you're not paying your lawyers additional 100 billion because you now have charges. No, they're on retainers. They've been there. This is the reason they've been paying them when there was no cases, and now that there's a case, they can go ahead and do their job. But
Let's leave
that alone. I'm not going to bring that. That's why I ignored it when you said it.
That's not how it works.
Are you trying to bring up lawyer money as part of FFP?
As part of why you're
saying,
not
bro.
spending.
Like,
you're actually so fraudulent.
How can you say that that's part of why you're not spending now? That's not why you. Even when you were spending, you had your lawyers on retainers. Even when you were spending, your lawyers want a retainer at
They
the time.
still play transfers.
You
that
want
they do,
big money
you know?
retainers while you were spending. So what are we talking about here?
That's
Like,
why I think
Dayo,
this
Dayo,
is why
listen,
I think it's
no,
a
but
little
guys,
bit.
Guys,
It's a little bit. It's on both. It's on Pep and the recruitment. The only reason why Pep is crashing out the way that he is crashing out is because he probably told the higher up people that this squad is good enough to compete in this season.
Yeah,
After
exactly.
4 years of competing, so they got the players that you got in the summer. Now he's crashing out the way that he is because he's realizing that I was absolutely wrong. That these players are not up for it at this moment. What?
Right.
Can you not agree with me?
Shikh,
You're okay.
Shikh.
Let me say this though, Vator. Man City fans will only mention that, oh, this is 4 years of burning out because you are in this run. Had you still been top of the table, you wouldn't have said that this is after 4 years of us burning out. This is why we are playing this way. But
Okay.
I've been telling you this, and I've been telling City fans this. This goes back like within that 4P, probably in the second or third time, you still needed to get players. You still needed to replace players. You still needed to rebuild. And I think what you're going through right now is consequences of not doing that this summer.
Yeah,
Because the squad is aging.
Okay,
Yes.
guys, no one disagrees with the fact that these players are a season older. All right, no one disagrees with the fact that we didn't get adequate additional talent with what's left the club. All right, but at the same time, this same squad, with the exception of losing Alvarez, is the team that just won last season. What's different this season? A plague of injuries, which I don't expect any of you guys to be like, oh, this is a justification. Of course not, right? But this is, and when Hussam's kind of chill, and he's realized the last time he pounced and won a league was when we took an injury hit, not severe like this, but he took full advantage and was playing brilliant football again, which he's doing this season. There's a perfect storm, and this same squad, with the exception of Alvarez leaving, won last season. We have more injuries to KDB earlier. We lost a Ballon d'Or, which you guys are tired of me telling you about. And we've had Oscar Bob, which was going to play somewhat of a role to replace Julian Alvarez. But there's been a series of injured players this season, which have cost us with an additional season of tired legs, going to the very end of a season again. And Hussam's realized what it's been going to the final season for Champions League, going to the final season for the Prem, and the possible drop-off or the severe strain on certain players, right? So we happen to be facing that, and you guys keep ignoring and think I'm making an excuse. We're seeing this after 4 years of this.
Again, so that's what I'm saying. You brought this 4 years up again. You wouldn't say this, Vator, if you were top of the table. I don't want to even bring right now. This is what I'm trying to say, is that you wouldn't say all these things if you were top of the table.
Shikh, no one complains when they're top of the league. I don't understand you bringing up this point.
This is my whole point, is that these were problems. These were problems going into the season.
Some complained.
They are top of the table. Ask them right now. They are top of the table, and they don't confidently think that they could win the league. Nobody wants to say it that they're going to win the league at this moment. That's what I'm trying to say. If you were top of the table, you wouldn't be saying all these things. But I've been telling you that this is 4 years of you burning out your players. You needed to recruit better. And Pep went into the season thinking this squad would be okay. That's all we're saying. That's all
Shikh, and there's another problem here. There's three problems. Number one, you bring up the Liverpool example because your fraudulence level knows no bounds.
Oh, really?
I think you have selected the correct club to support.
What I'm saying is incorrect?
When it comes to Liverpool Football Club, our four best players, one is an academy player, one we signed in 2016-17, the other we signed in 2017, the other we signed in 2017. You cannot in any way, shape or form compare both our clubs. My problem with the ownership is we don't spend enough money. As a matter of fact, I know I speak for 75% of the FSG outers. If we spent a bit more money, we all wouldn't probably be FSG out because they've done good work around the club in terms of renovation and blah, blah, blah. You can't compare myself to you. I just signed Arne Slot, and there is no
Oh, here we
excuses
go.
regarding any manager loyalty or the manager loves this guy, loves that guy. We ended up signing Chiesa with no knees. And you want to compare my club, who the last big transfer was what, Nunes in 2021 or 2022, like 4 years ago. You just signed Josko Gvardiol, who won the young boy thing at the World Cup in Qatar 2 years ago. You signed all these Akanji, Ake, Ederson, Kyle Walker, Rodri, KDB, Bernardo Silva.
Why are you bringing up Kyle Walker for?
I'm bringing up all your players because all of these players are players that you have signed. Savio, once
So
again,
what?
for the people at the back. Let me tell this to the people.
Fabinho was
Because
what?
we're not just
No,
here
no,
to
no,
cook
but that's
you.
the point.
We are here to educate.
Mhm.
Savio was in the La Liga team of the season. Chat.
Yep.
He was
He's
cooking
not
at Girona.
You
He
know,
was
guys,
cooking.
listen to this. Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, the right winger in the team of the
You
season
guys like
played
hearing
for
yourself
Girona. So they didn't sign like a random nobody.
Mhm.
Guess what? Gundogan was in the team of the season at Barcelona. So it's not like they signed random nobodies. They brought back Gundogan, who was one of their clutchest ever players, and Savio, who was in the team of the season. So now the problem with your argument is you don't want us to say it's because of the charges. You don't want us to say it's because of Pep. When we cook the players, you get mad.
Who
When you cook
says
your
that?
managers, you get
I said it's
One
all
second.
of those things. You know,
So now
you're
so
being
now
a
what am I
fraud.
supposed to
You're
sit
the
here and
one
say?
being a fraud.
Every
You
week
didn't
City
say
lose,
that.
I should come here and just say, guys, City are tired.
Do you know?
It's
But do you know what
okay.
the issue is? Do you know what the
That's
issue? There's like
So
another
if
issue,
I
but-
challenge
All
for
right,
a
let me bring the
quadruple this
microphone close
season,
and do a Don Hussam. I didn't say
so
any
if I
of that.
challenge for a
I didn't say
quadruple
any of
this
that.
season and win a treble, as an example, next year I can lose 1 in 12, and it's okay. And all I have to come here and go like, Salah is tired, guys. It's okay.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Khalas,
bro.
Yeah,
Adi,
that's
I
what
won
I'm
the
saying.
quadruple.
That's
Who
all,
cares?
I agree.
That's why I
brother.
feel like you're right
That's
though,
why-
Vator. You have blamed everyone, and that's what we're saying too. Is that I feel like everyone needs to get the blame, but you have to look at the current situation. You have to look at your manager. He's
Sheikh,
not as
Sheikh,
much
let me
as we
speak
do
to you, 'cause
say
you're
he's
the only
great.
sensible one on this panel right now. My blue brother is a fraud.
Wow.
Don
That's not
Hussam
true,
is
because the
stressed
point
over there.
I
That's why
made,
he had
yeah,
the
the
spark
point-
one. And then I got supposed to be
They are-
holiday mode
you
Dayo,
are-
who's waffling all the time. Listen, I am not saying it's only because of the four-peat and we're
on Pep.
tired.
It's
I don't sit here and give one
1 in 12
binary
is on
argument.
Pep.
I don't say
1
one
in
thing.
12 is on Pep.
No, but Vator, the
1
problem
in
I have
12
here.
is
Let
on
me
Pep.
Oh my
before you
gosh.
go die. Before you go
1
die,
in
I have
12
two
is on
issues.
Pep.
Vator, you
I
have
have
won
two
one
issues.
game in 12.
You can't. For me, my issue with Vator is when he says to me, "I can't be looking at top 4 as my secondary objective for the rest of the season." It's like that has to be a secondary objective. Like even for me, when we were having that really, really bad season, yeah, I said 12 was unacceptable. I can't accept it all because the guys are tired. That is still unacceptable, whether we like to admit it or not. That is unacceptable. That should be the same for you. You still should be demanded whilst you still have the chance, while you still have the points, while you still have another possible window, maybe to add in a piece or two to be at least getting minimum top 4. Get your minimum objective. I'm not even saying get the actual objective. Get at least the C tier.
Yeah, at least top 4.
That's what I'm saying. And I think for me, there's another issue that that we need to talk about City here, which is that you've been buying actually a couple of young guys. There's something that we brought in. Obviously, I forget his name. The guy that they brought from Wolves, Doku, Savinho. Thank you for obviously helping out there. But like, why aren't these guys developing as well? You know
Talk
what I
about
mean?
Grealish. How long has he been here for?
Even Grealish as well.
Grealish.
Like the last couple of guys he brought, yeah, even Gavardio to an extent I would add to, even though I think he's developed going forward, but not so much defensively. Like, why aren't these guys developing? What's going
Gvardiol
on
is the
there?
second highest goal scorer this season.
You know what
Yeah,
is
he's been
going
very
on
good.
there? What is going on
Like-
there? What is going on there?
So
That's
Vator,
what-
let me ask
Alright.
you this: What are your
Am I answering Ahmed or am I going to answer Ahmed and Sheikh?
Ahmed just made a statement. He wasn't asking.
You
the
can
question.
answer
Yeah, I
many
think he- I
people.
think
It's
he made a
okay. You need
statement,
to be
yeah.
press resistant
I think-
like
but-
your club
but
was when they were
What do you,
successful.
okay, so go ahead. Ahmed, you asked a question. I'll try to remember it. Go ahead, Sheikh.
Alright.
I just want to know what are your objectives going into the rest of the season? What are you wanting
That's
to see out
actually
of
a
this
good
City team?
question.
Yeah,
my-
because
my-
just so I can understand you better where you're coming from.
Yeah.
What are your
So,
objectives for the rest of
I
the season?
think this is why it's so triggering to all of you on this panel is because City fans aren't as arrogant as you guys. I want to win the next game. I'm not looking at my club and saying my next objective is top 4. My next objective is top 5. I'm not doing that. My next objective is to win the next game. All right. You guys, and understandably, maybe it's because I've been eating well. I'm not as hungry as you guys. I'm not demanding that my club needs to do this. All right. I
after
want to win
13
my
games-
next game. See, Husam's already triggered. You can't believe
After
that.
13 games.
If we
Hold on,
get
so
relegated, it's
because-
okay.
So the
I
question is,
no, I didn't say that. I said I
Again-
want to win the next game.
again, the
I get to
question-
40 points. Hey,
Vator,
my blue brother, I get to 40, 41 points. No relegation. I'm moving
Fair
on.
enough. You know what? I
Really?
hear it. I hear it still. I hear it. But yeah, that one
So
I hear.
Vator, again, the
Yeah,
question
man.
was at
Road
the
to
end
forty,
of
man,
the
road
night,
to
you know,
40.
like,
What the fuck's wrong
you know,
with you guys?
this is
It's
just
a joke. It's a little joke. That's why, man. Road to 40. If you get it, you get it.
Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Ake, Akanji, Ederson, Ortega, Kyle Walker, Rico Lewis. Oh wow! If Savio, Doku, Grealish. Oh, if we just get to 40 points, you do realize 1 in 12, and you know here, AMT. I know he's an Arsenal fan, so he's a bit fraudulent. However, injuries and tiredness can be right, but 1 win 12 is wild, and that is the point that we're making.
Mhm.
Exactly.
It is the volume at which you're losing games.
None of us
You
have
can
done it
be
in our
fired.
worst ever era.
Listen, I've seen a banter era.
You would've
Dayo's seen a
fired your
banter era.
manager before
Sheikh
it got
is
1
living a
12.
banter era. Ahmed has seen a banter era. None of us has ever went 1 in
Bro,
12.
when we were 12 in
None
the
of us.
league, yeah, we were losing games of 1, and we didn't even get 1 in 12. We didn't even get.
I
1 in
didn't
12,
even, bro. Ten Hag, as much as I talk about him all the time, he never won 1 in 12. Like Hussam
Bro.
under Roy Hodgson never won 1 in 12.
Roy Hodgson never won 1 in
You know
12.
what? You know what
Yeah,
it is,
Max
though?
like-
Rodriguez won a game away at
Oli,
Bolton.
even
Torres
Oli
assist
used to
1
always win his
All right, you
third
guys
game.
need to keep
Oli-
talking to yourselves.
Oli
Oli used to
never
win his
won 1
third
in
game,
12.
bro. Always.
The difference is when you guys would have had a spell of 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 or 1 in 5, 1 in 6, you would have fired your manager. So that's why this type of accumulation of form,
Mm. So you think
you would have fired.
Is that what
you
you're
would've
You do
fired your-
realize two of the panelists here
I'm in the
are
problem I'm in because we
notoriously
didn't
known
fire a
for not
manager.
firing managers. Liverpool and
Exactly.
Arsenal. You know this.
Yeah,
What
I
are
was
you-
just
what are you
about
talking
to say. I was just about to say, like even
What-
You saw how long
at
Arsene
what
Wenger
point-
lasted
hold on,
Wenger
hold
league
on, hold on. At what point did you fire Unai Emery? What was the form that you
Even
saw
in-
to fire Unai Emery?
Unai Emery's firing, right? Came,
You're using the anomaly as the benchmark.
Hold on.
Wow.
Leave it. And I'll
No,
ask-
because they had Wenger
I know,
before
I know.
that, and he was there
And I'll-
for
listen,
decades.
yeah.
Yeah, and then they had George Graham, and they had Liverpool and Arsenal don't fire managers notoriously.
Sorry, Hussam, hold on. In Wenger's decade, he never went 1 in 12 in his horrible form of like 10 years. In his horrible
He also
form of,
never
like,
won
10 years.
back to back. So let's
I
relax.
get that, but that's what we're talking about the form now.
Mm.
But yeah, he never won back to back.
We're talking about your form now.
We're
Okay,
talking
Ahmed,
about
wanna do
current
blue
form.
brother?
We're
Sit
talking
next
Nah,
to
about-
your
nah, a
blue brother.
little. Come on, can I not troll a little bit?
Sit next to your blue brother then.
Hey,
We're
listen,
talking about,
second
we're talking
place.
about, we're
Absolute
talking about
respect, man.
current
Come on.
form now. So this whole thing of just deflecting about the current form is why I keep on like bantering you. If
Yeah,
we
because
win-
you can't every time just tell me we won 4 in a row. We
You're
know this, but
deflecting.
we know this.
right now.
You guys need to
No,
cover
But
your
Sam,
ears.
but Sam, the way
I've
they're acting
listed
like
many
they
things
want
to
to go
why
back to
we're
main
this
road, bro.
poor.
Do you want to go back to main road, Vator, bro? Are you happy with what you got now?
Yeah, do you want to be called Ardwick FC again? Do you want to be called Ardwick
Don't
FC
want to
again?
go back
Your
to
old
League
name.
2, man. The way Vator's acting, he wants to go back to League 2 football.
If you were gonna tell me I was gonna win a treble and a four-peat, and the 5th year was gonna be relegation, I'm taking it.
Oh,
if you were to
my
tell me,
God.
so,
Okay.
okay, so basically,
Vader,
what you
all of
just
us
said-
will take it.
Oh, hold on.
Vader,
All
of
of
us
you
will
would take it.
Hold on.
All
Yes.
of you.
No, I
Yes,
would not take
but-
relegation. Don't say all of
No,
us
no,
would
no,
take
no,
it.
no.
After winning a
Hassan,
treble four-peat.
What,
Listen,
I wouldn't take relegation.
You're a
hell no.
Relegation,
joker. You're a
yeah, from the
joker.
No,
Premier
not
League is an
relegation. He's
all-time
saying
low.
1 in 12. He said if after a four-peat, you would
No,
take
he
1 in
said
12.
relegation, Sheikh.
He said relegation now. He
said
said relegation
relegation.
now.
Oh.
You're
Oh,
telling
my bad. I heard
you
that
guys
wrong.
are
You
telling
know
me
how
I'm in
that's
relegation
like an
form.
all-time low. That
Yeah, even the sensible one, Sheikh. turned
That
on
is
you
a
just
that
now.
is an all-time.
You're telling me
relegation.
you're
is an
telling
all-time.
me I'm in
Yeah,
relegation
man.
form. I'm going to take it. Obviously, I'm not going to be relegated, right? I just need 40, 41 points, right, Ahmed? And I'm good to go. I'm close to that. So
But
let's
this is-
chill.
But this
Let's
is the thing, though.
chill out.
Vader, I want to say this. Your club has done a madness, a 4P that nobody probably would never see again for hundreds of years. It might be impossible for anybody to do it. I get that. We hold that on one side.
Pick up AMT.
The question about the 1 in 12 form is not because you won a 4P. You can't say in one vein, hold on. You can't say in one vein, I won a 4P, and that's why my form right now is 1 in 12. At the beginning of the season, when Rodri was not even playing your first couple of games and you guys won those games, I heard City fans saying, we're even winning without Rodri. Once Rodri comes back and Foden gets back into the team and KDB is on form, this season, 5P. I have a video of you that I was on the screen with you where you said we're doing that 5P coming. 5P coming. Remember you're saying that to me at the beginning of the season. Now we're talking about the current form. What exactly is the issue? I say it's Pep. You want to blame your players. You keep saying Pep.
No, Dial, don't lie on me. I don't just say it's the players.
You blame majority of it you put on your players. You said
No.
He said everything.
Earlier in the
He's
stream
saying
today.
everything.
You obviously you're
hold
not
on.
subscribed to my channel.
Earlier in the
I
stream
speak
today,
about many factors to
Earlier
why
in the
we're
stream-
in the form that we're in.
earlier in the stream today, you know, a statement that you made earlier, just about 20 minutes ago, right? Where you said everything that Pep is doing, somebody messes it up. If it's not a player, it's the player's form. You made that statement earlier, 20 minutes ago. People can go back and hear it.
Yeah, go back and say it. I said there's been games where it hasn't been on Pep. And the players cost us this 1 in 12. Not every game, because again, I'm not binary. It's not one or the other. It's not ones and zeros. It's not black and white. There's been games where Pep has set this team up to win, and unfortunately, a player error. Unfortunately, some costly errors in critical times. There was tons of banter that happened with regards to City were the only club to surrender 3 goals after a 3-goal lead in the Champions League, 75 minutes left.
In 15
Right?
minutes, 15 minutes.
Feyenoord,
So there's moments where you can point to the
minutes.
manager. There's moments you can point to players. This 1 in 12 is not solely on Pep, Dayo. This 1 in 12 is not solely on the players, which you seem to say I am saying. And this 1 in 12, I believe, is also a combination of what the club has to do behind closed doors with regards to APT, the whole suing, and the whole 115, which is now 130, as well as a combination of these players exhausting themselves to win 4 in a row. And when I bring up the point on why I think Hussam should understand this, and then he gets triggered and says, don't compare clubs.
Yeah, because you're
we've
comparing
seen, let me make my
FSG
point, don't
to
get
Shikh
triggered, let me make my point, because we've seen players fall off after being fatigued, playing at a full tilt for season after season. That's the point I'm making.
Okay,
Oh,
but
okay.
that doesn't count either because FSG did not reinvest. Your owners reinvest. That's the point that counters it.
You guys are
But anyway-
pointing out that I didn't reinvest with the right players. I reinvested with youth. So we've seen the errors of my club, like you saw the errors of your club, and that's why I'm in the
It's not the
situation
same.
I'm in.
It's not the same. It's not.
Oh my
the
God,
same.
it's not exactly the same. But
It's not
when
the
you
same because we don't spend nowhere near the same money.
okay,
Fraud.
but Hussam, listen, you're not listening. You
I
didn't
am
spend the-
listening, and it doesn't make sense.
Okay, I'll make it make sense and I'll speak slowly. When you spoke to your club not investing, and now all of you want to tell me that we poorly invested, do you not understand why where we're at? Does it
I'm
not
not telling you
compute
you
now?
poorly invested. I'm saying the opposite.
You're saying I invested well?
Yeah.
Okay, well, these other guys are telling me that my investments over the last 2 seasons have been poor.
Listen, I'm looking.
I said the
they've been
investment
poor.
this summer
They've
was
been poor on the
poor.
pitch, but not poor. You see this revisionism. Revisionism is the biggest bullshit on this app. When City brought back Gundogan, I will go to YouTube right now and search. Everyone posted City are back, City are scary, City are gonna win the league, City are gonna do this. When City signed Savio, this is the next big thing. He's in the team of the season. He's unbelievable. He's amazing. This is what they're missing. Now, don't talk in hindsight. At the time, 90% of the people I work with predicted City to win the league. So we're not gonna do hindsight. Let me just do these 2 super chats and then we'll go to Arsenal. Playing Highline in a bad form, coach or players? Listen, Pep has a style, but at the same time, some of the players need to hold accountability, specifically in the game like the United game, as an example. Wouldn't have 130 charges if you did not cheat.
Got him! Got him!
Big up to you, Jonathan. Thank you for the super chat. Big up to Jonathan. Big up to AMT. We have to talk about Arsenal now, ladies and gentlemen. Not because they lost or anything, but because Saka's injured. So big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing. And Dayo, we'll let you start off this section before the other guys come in as well and tell us their opinion. Look,
Saka's
Arsenal
injury.
won this week and Saka's injured. So tell me about both.
The win was good. That's all I can say. I mean, we needed to start winning games. If we didn't win this game, it was just going to be harder for us this season to go on to try to do anything. But the Saka injury is a massive blow. And just like I gave context to City when I said Rodri being injured, would it have made a difference when it was 1 in 4, 1 in 5, 1 in 6, 1 in 7, 1 in 8, even the 1 in 12? Like, I think Rodri would have made a big difference. So Saka being injured is going to be a big, massive miss for us. One, solely because was 16 games in, he's provided the most big chances, created the most assists, and has scored. So not having a player like him is mad for us. We're in trouble. We're in trouble on the right wing. I think we're going to struggle with games. So this is where it's going to be on Mikel Arteta to find a way, regardless of what he needs to do, find a way to just not lose games till Saka gets back. There's speculation that it's like 6 weeks, all of that. And I'm hoping that it's 6 weeks and it doesn't go beyond that. So he's just going to have to find a way. But without Saka, we're going to struggle. We're going to struggle. That's the person who's created the most chances for us on that side. Now, do we have players? Again, I don't rate him. I don't know why we got him, but he's on our squad. Raheem Sterling, he's also injured again. That's somebody that I said that I would say.
God.
No, I don't.
Is that true that he's injured, bro? I'm laughing at the fact that he's injured.
Yeah, he
Like,
wasn't.
this is the moment to use him.
Yeah,
and
he got
he's out.
injured he got injured in training. He wasn't even in the match this squad.
That is crazy.
So he's
bro.
also
That is
injured, and I'm like,
crazy.
you know what? If at least in certain games you can rotate him and somebody else in those games and make sure you just don't lose the game. You know what I mean? Like that's the way I'm kind of looking at it. But Saka's injury for us is like the biggest blow that could have happened. A lot of people have been like, yeah, you guys should have gotten somebody that can back him up. And I'm like, yeah, whoever we get will never be as good as him. Not because we don't want somebody as good as him, but because if there's anybody as good as Saka, they don't want to be on the bench. Like, why should I come and sit on the bench if I'm as good as you? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be difficult. So, yeah, I think this will force us in January to at least find somebody. If we're not spending, we might as well find somebody on the left, right? Move Martinelli to the right. We saw him do a little bit of a madness there. If he can hold that wing till Saka gets back, get a good player for the left wing side, like solid, spend money, get a left winger, and get a
Rashford?
striker.
I have one for you, Dayo.
I don't
Rashford,
want
what
Rashford.
is it?
I don't want Rashford.
But
Personally,
you know
personally, I
what
don't want Rashford.
Hey, come on. Listen, there we go, man. But you know what it is, yeah. You know what it is, yeah, Dayo, yeah. I'm gonna sound like a little bit of a dickhead here, yeah. But
Yeah, go on.
is this
Typical.
not? Oh, thank you. You know,
Little
but
bit,
isn't
little
this?
bit.
But isn't that to be?
You just threw an alley-oop and I dunked, to be honest with you.
There
So.
we go. You know what I mean? But what I'm just trying to say, yeah, isn't this kind of like expected? Like, isn't this kind of like what we expected to happen to Saka? Like, with all due respect, obviously, I don't wish injury on any player, but like with the amount of minutes he's played, with how much he's played, with the lack of obviously, getting him like a proper backup to let him rest in times of where it was technically needed for him to actually rest. Right?
He says
Like-
this is not what was expected. Yeah, but at the same time, if you want to be the best of the best, you have to play all these games and prove yourself. You can't.
But he
say
doesn't
you
need to play FA Cup. but he
No, he
Go
doesn't.
ahead.
He's not played it. He hasn't played.
But
any-
they are going to sign
He's
a
not played any-
Saka
Yeah,
replacement,
he's
though.
not. He's not
Yeah,
played
you
any
have
FA Cup or
to-
Carabao.
Well,
He
they're
hasn't.
gonna have to now, innit?
So Ahmed again. Correction. Raheem Sterling has been playing in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. Saka
No
has
one
not been
notices
playing.
yet.
Yeah, Saka has been playing Champions League and Saka has been playing the Champions League.
You
and-
already said it.
You
You're
know who
late
you're
to it,
signing,
huh?
Dayo,
I'm
right?
not
You already
signing-
said it.
Look, like
This
I
is
said,
happening already. This
You know who you're signing, mate?
I don't want Rashford.
Hey,
personally.
hey, Dayo, I'll do you one better. I will give you buy one, get one free. I'll give you Garnacho with it too.
Rashford on the rock.
And
Garnacho on the rock.
Garnacho.
Yeah,
Buy one, get one free. It's
I don't
Christmas.
want-
It came early, man. Just
I don't want-
I'll give you
I-
both.
we need
Dayo.
that, man.
Rashford time, baby.
Hey, listen,
Here's what
man.
here's what
Just
I'll
like
say.
how you unlocked Havertz, I think you can unlock Rashford too.
Well,
Yeah,
right,
I agree.
You know-
right now, I hear you on that. But at the stage we're at right now, I don't need a player that needs to be unlocked. I need a player that can hit the ground running. That's what I want. So now, if the club goes ahead and gets Rashford and they can do a madness with him, kudos. I will back up my manager on whoever it gets. But this fact that we don't have a backup of Bukayo Saka is on Mikel Arteta, is on my manager for not getting somebody.
Yes.
I put that on him because honestly speaking, no matter what it was, you should have gotten somebody younger behind him. Now, do we have players who can do something on that side? Yes, we do. But do we have a replacement? We don't. So the fact that we also still have players that can do something on that wing, I'm okay with the fact that we need to fix the left wing and the striker. So get me a good left winger, get me a striker, and I think we can hold out till Saka gets back. Because again, earlier this season, we had games where Saka was injured and he didn't play. And we didn't lose those games. We found ways to win those games. We had games where Odegaard was out. We found ways to, struggle in those games. Some of them we won, some we drew, some we lost. Most importantly, it's now about managing the squad and making sure that we don't falter. But it's on the sporting director, the former sporting director, and on the manager for not getting someone to back up Saka. And worst case scenario, if they feel like this is going to be like a 12-week thing, which is going to be like 12 games, more or less, that's a lot of games. Then in January, just close your eyes, spend the money, get a good left winger, move Martinelli to the right, and get a striker. Like that's what if it's going to be a 4-week injury, then
I'll be
manage
honest
the
with you,
process and then
Martinelli
get
on
the
the right
striker.
sticks, even though
The
he
thing
plays
is,
better.
you don't want to
Well,
rush this guy back. You don't want to rush
Yeah.
this guy
Yeah,
back.
you also don't want to
And,
rush.
and,
think-
and that's another worry I have, yeah, which is that maybe Arteta's like, I might not need someone. I can hold out until January, and then maybe we rush him back until like what's it called? Come rushing back into like mid Feb. Essentially, you don't want that to happen, bro. You don't want that to happen.
No,
I'll be honest with you, bro.
but also again, you have to look at it. Nobody has read the manager's mind. He hasn't come out and said that you can.
I'm saying
insinuate-
that's what you
but
don't want to
I feel
happen.
like
Yeah,
you can,
exactly.
you can insinuate
Yeah.
that, but this might also trigger him to say, "Well, we've lost our best player," and tells the owners, "Listen, we need to spend money in January this year. We normally don't spend in January, but this is where we have to spend." It's like it could trigger either way, you know. I know rival fans wanted to trigger in the negative, like Mikel Arteta will be like, "I'll hold on, I'll wait," but this could also trigger him to be like, "Look, hey." And my thing is, if we fix the left wing, we can move Martinelli to the right. I think Martinelli on the right also makes a little bit of sense for the few weeks that Saka is going to be out until Saka gets back. So we have
What
trust.
about Havertz? Because
Right.
like your manager's been talking about Havertz right wing. So
Well, not
and
Havertz.
he's played
Havertz cannot.
He played there for Bayer Leverkusen. Even he played there for Chelsea.
Yeah, but
You know what
I
I mean?
would
Why
rather
not?
play Ethan Nwaneri on the right wing. He's skillful. He's got a bit of pace like Saka's at the level of Saka's pace. He's good on the ball. He's very technical, and he can play out on that right wing as well. So there's people that can do a job, but not. I don't want them there consistently. Like I would want Saka there. So I mean, depending on who we're playing, I think we can put somebody there. But in the meantime, January is around the corner. We kind of find a way to. I mean, we don't spend in January. That I know. Arsenal is not a club that likes to spend in January. But maybe Bukayo Saka, as important as he is for the club, this might be the one season where we're like, you know what, hey, because the same thing happened with Declan Rice. Arsenal is not a club that spends 100 million on players, right? We're not that club. You've never seen, nobody's ever, like, you would never expect Arsenal to do that. But there was one season where we eventually did it. So that was an anomaly to me. I didn't think it was
two seasons ago. You did buy in January though. Like you bought Trossard and Jorginho.
We bought but we didn't. Well, there wasn't for big.
You
money.
didn't splash the cash. Yeah, you didn't splash the cash.
I'm saying
So
this
it's like you only spent like 32 million because that one was 12.
Yeah.
That was like
I think
20
Jorginho wasn't like
27
okay,
and 12.
yeah.
27 and
Yeah,
12. So for me, the good thing is the bright side. I won't say bright side. Saka's injury is going to be felt, and the club now knows that your most important player is out. Here's what you need to do. You might have to just go out there and splash the cash. And I don't think splash the cash on the right winger now. I would say splash the cash on the striker and the left winger and move Martinelli to the right, rotate him with Trossard in games, rotate him with Gabriel Jesus in games as well. They can cover the next 6, 7, 8, 9 games. When Saka gets back, if he's a little bit well rested, we bring him back into the end of the season and hope he does the madness. You know, and at least you get a striker and get a good left winger who can then help us out. But it's on the manager that we don't have anybody there. I think internally, I can look at a couple of players that can do something there, but not on a consistent basis. So So it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard.
I just want to mention too, like about the Saka thing. I think you have to kind of look at it long term as well, because we actually went through a problem like this with Rashford, and I don't think Rashford, like the way that he is right now, is solely because of that. But Ollie played him through injury, like for an entire season. And then one could argue that the form that he's in right now is because of that injury, that he came back from that injury, not the best person. That's just what I don't want to see with Saka. I think statistically, it's a fact that Saka is like second in terms of minutes played after Eden Hazard, who's number one.
300 minutes less.
300 minutes less than Eden Hazard, who has the most minutes he's played for Chelsea. And then talk about Eden Hazard as well. When he went to Real Madrid, the guy just broke down. Like he couldn't.
28.
At 28, bro. At 28, he crumbled. And this is not like against like Saka or anything like that. This is just in terms of the future. I know I rate Saka first of all, and I know you guys rate Saka as that player, the star boy, future, all of that type of stuff. It's just these are things you have to definitely look at, because if he keeps piling up these injuries, he's definitely gonna it's gonna change him as a player.
You don't want to reach James' situation, bro.
You don't want that situation.
You don't want to reach James where
I know. See, this is one of his first major injuries. Saka's major, and I think you also have to look at Saka's minutes vis-a-vis when he came into the league. He joined at 17. He's 23 now. That's 6 years. So the thing is, those minutes, of course, will be a lot starting at that young age. So you have to weigh that. When you look at Saka is at 23 a vastly experienced player. When his mates who are 23 should not even be like, you shouldn't be saying a 23-year-old is a vastly experienced player at this stage. You're expecting, like, it's crazy, to think about the amount of minutes he's played, but it is what it is because he started early. So
Yeah,
fair enough.
it's also like Arteta's responsibility to protect him though as a player,
Yes,
and that's what you
exactly.
are arguing, and that's why I'm agreeing with you that he hasn't
Mhm.
really protected him, and you could say that for the likes of other people too, like Odegaard in the team as well. If let's say recent games, if he's not been playing well, cool, but he is an important
Fraud.
player in your team, and
but
at the end of the day,
he's been hooking Odegaard. He's been hooking Odegaard. in games. He's been like, listen, you know what,
so
dude?
that's what I'm saying. So you're able to hook someone like Odegaard, but you don't want to protect your most important
so
investment,
again-
which would be
so
Saka.
again-
Arguably your best player, bro.
Hold on,
Your
Arguably
best
your number
player,
one
you don't
player.
want to protect this
on,
investment. That's what I'm trying to say.
Hold on. So the reason Odegaard, I can say when they asked him, he said one, it was a technical thing. Two, he's just come back from injury. When Odegaard was not injured, we let him play. When Saliba was not injured, they let them. Like when players are in form and they're not injured, you let them play. Now that Saka is injured, I believe that in certain games, Saka will now be given a lot more rest than would be normally. Again, there's this notion that
It's funny people like you commenting on this channel when every time I speak on the terrace, you say my TV is on mute, yet you're here watching my channel. What a bitch. Go ahead, Dayo.
Oh,
yeah, so I hear you about
Not
protecting. I hear you
Hey,
about
man, hold
protecting.
up.
I hear you about protecting our best player, but also if you want to be the best, you've got like. I'm not trying to make excuses or anything. It is what it is, man. You got to play these games and you got to step up. And if you get,
Are you
Yeah, but no, but
Wait,
Dayo, you have to you still have to kind of consider the fitness.
But you have
and
to
the
manage
physical
minutes, bro,
aspect.
Dayo.
Yeah, you
No, but
have
we
to.
have to
have
ask
to
the
manage
hard-hitting
minutes.
questions now. Wait. Forget fitness and all this.
Mhm.
Saka's out now.
yeah,
Apparently till February, till March.
Mhm.
Are you out of the title race?
no, we're not out of the title race.
When
No.
are you going to be out of the title race in your mind?
In my mind, I'm out of the title race if by this time in March I am 9 points away from whoever's at the top.
9 points.
Yes, if I'm 6 points away in March, it's still mathematically doable.
9 points
You want to
in
know the
March.
problem you have? Not Ipswich. Ipswich, you'll win. You'll slap them 4 goals, 5 goals. The game after that, Brighton, Brentford.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly why it's on the manager now.
Wow, we.
It's on the manager
No,
now.
they play Brentford away and Brighton away. Are you mad? Did you see
Yo,
the next 3 games?
Brentford at home at a GTEC
They
Stadium.
play
Man. That's not
Ipswich at the
easy.
Emirates. They're going to beat Ipswich.
Okay,
Then
so
after that, Brentford away and then Brighton away, bro.
okay, so what's your
No
what,
Saka.
so let me throw it back. Let me throw it back to you. What is your prediction for the Brentford game? What is the scoreline? Since you're so dead sure that we're going to go to Brentford and we're going to get,
I'm not
what
dead
is your
sure.
No, it
prediction?
could be a
I'm
draw
giving you
though. It could be a
I'm
draw.
I'm
gonna
going
You
to
could
predict
still
right now
drop
2-2.
points.
I can predict 2-2.
Yeah, I could predict 2-2 in both those
Alright,
games.
good.
I could say 2-2 in
Who else,
both those
who else
games.
is predicting? Who else
It
is
depends what Arteta
That's
does.
4
I ain't
points
going to
drop.
answer for
That's
now.
exactly, but that's what I just said. I said what Mikel Arteta then does. Is
Habibi, who's disagreeing with you? Why are you fighting me? I asked
I'm
you
not
a
fighting
question,
you.
you
I'm
fraud. You're the Arsenal rep.
I am
You
talking to
fraud. You're
Ahmed.
the one answering.
Osam, I'm
He's
talking
fighting
to Ahmed. I am
Yeah,
talking
because
to
you have
Ahmed.
Jacob,
Osam,
by the
not
way.
you.
Oh, okay,
He's
talk to Ahmed. Okay, you can
I
cook
was
Ahmed.
talking to
then.
Ahmed, not you.
Cook his
Osam.
ass.
I was saying to
What do you
Hassan,
mean, man?
Ahmed.
Chill out,
Ahmed
big
Okay,
said
man.
Ahmed.
You know
2-2.
what I mean?
We're
He
good.
said 2-2. If we go to Brentford and we slap them up 3-1,
By the way,
what will you
Vator
say?
said he's going to leave, but he just left us with this.
What will you say?
Those who forget their past compromise their future. You ain't got no past, mate.
So that means he's ready
You
to go back
got
to
no
League
past.
2.
Your
He's
past
ready
is
to go
the
back to League 2.
Nobody-
your past is the Sheikh buying your club. That's your
Listen,
past.
I want to. So Ahmed, if we
No,
go there and slap
Brentford.
them up 3-1, what happens?
Then, you know, if you go there, then fair enough. You can
Yeah,
do
fair
whatever you
enough.
want.
Exactly.
And I am wrong. And I am wrong.
So it depends on what.
What do you mean? I'm not going to hold
So
smoke? I'll hold the smoke.
so it depends on what the manager does against those teams, how he sets us up. Again, I back my team because we have many ways of look. People call
Okay,
us,
but if, let's say you draw against Brentford, lose Brighton,
Then
what?
what?
What would you say?
Then
well,
what? Let's ask you the question. Then what?
Let's say we. For me, then that makes it impossible for us to win the league. That makes it impossible at that point. No,
Well,
yeah,
you
because-
just said in March. You'd
No,
wait till March.
I said if one.
Ahmed, get ready to suit
Yeah.
up, buddy.
Yeah, hear what I'm saying again.
Mhm.
You are saying I should. Let's assume
Me and you
I
are gonna
lose
have a
these next 2 games. Let's assume I lose these 2 games.
Mm.
If I lose these 2 games, I'm 6 points behind right now. Losing these 2 games means I'll be 12 points away. Even if I start winning by March, I'll be 9 points anyway. So that's why I said no. But if we win these next games and by March I'm still 6 points behind whoever is leading, there's still a chance, is what I'm saying. So if I have to agree with you in your world of if I lose those 2 games, what if I win those 2 games?
If you win those 2 games, amazing.
Yeah, no,
Exactly. So
good.
that's my
That's
point. So, yeah.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
you know, it's like
fair
I'm not
Fair enough. Okay, let's
We're
wrap
going
up.
game
I'm
at a
not
time.
saying-
We're going
I'm
game
not
at a
saying,
time.
listen, I'm
You
not
know?
saying
Fair
that these teams are. I'm not saying these teams are walkovers.
Dayo, do you want Jacob to get away with murder? Can we
No.
can we
Just-
talk
just-
his
just
ass
30
first?
just
Because
30
I'm tired of talking about.
yeah, he conceded
us.
6 goals at home. So let's talk about him instead. Big up to my guy Surafel.
You either
Okay,
you
Jacob,
either
I'm
die a
Wait,
man or you live a bitch. How about that?
Wait, let me read the super chats first. Youth,
You
Rogers,
either live
Della,
life as a fucking bitch or you die as a man. I'd rather die as a man.
Jacob, damn.
But I mean,
Sorry.
you're down like a bitch right now. So
That's not true. That's not true.
Okay, can I just read these, please?
Boy,
Big up to
15,000
mate.
people that
Boy,
felt
boy.
as though we might have
Boy,
come back
boy.
from that.
Can
and
I
lose
read
3-5.
these 3 and then we can
Why,
segue to the
It's
Liverpool
Timo
Spurs
time.
games, you frauds?
Why,
Thank
Yeah,
you.
mate. Go on, mate.
Youth, Rogers, Delap, Palmer is what Serafel is saying. Yeah, those are the ones they sold, did it? And they got McAtee, who used to play for Sheffield, and they got that right kid as well.
Lavia, don't forget about Lavia too. Another one that used to be there in the academy.
Hey, look at me. I'm a Chelsea fan. I make everything about me. Yay. Don't forget about Lavia.
Ironic coming from the Liverpool fan.
Anything else you want to mention?
Ironic
خلاص.
coming from the Liverpool fan.
How many times are the best players ever rested?
That was my point. That was my point
No,
because
Ahmed,
There's a
He's
thing
talking
about
we
Ahmed.
are
Let
not
Ahmed
saying-
respond.
No.
Yeah, let
we are
Ahmed
not-
respond, because this is
we are
aimed at
not
Ahmed.
saying this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to rest these players. I am saying though, manage their minutes. I'm not saying
But
he doesn't
Ahmed,
have to play.
Ahmed.
He doesn't have to play a whole 90 minutes at a time.
Ahmed,
He
Ahmed,
can play
Ahmed,
70 minutes,
Ahmed,
65 minutes.
Ahmed, I hear you. The margins are so fine that even goal difference could be what determines the winner at the end of the season sometimes. And the truth is, you want to keep your best players on the pitch at all times to give you the best opportunities. If you take out a Bukayo Saka who's putting in 6 or 7 crosses and bringing in Raheem Sterling who only puts in half a cross, 15 more minutes to the end
But
of
then
the
that's
game.
on
And
again.
hold on.
Again,
And listen, hold on. Listen. That's what I'm saying. I blame the manager for not having an appropriate.
Then chill out at Tottenham.
So in the meantime, because he's your best player, you don't take him off the pitch. I mean, I don't understand why you would not use your best asset. It's like in martial arts, if you're good at one particular thing, very good at it, you say, well,
Are you in agreement with Emmanuel? Would you play Ethan on the right?
I can play it. I did say that in a couple of games. I don't mind playing Ethan on the right. I did say that. I said that.
Man, we love
yeah.
it.
I don't.
Okay, let's say, okay, I'm gonna give you this scenario. Let's say tomorrow you have the Champions League final. Okay, Saka's out. Who's your front 3?
Saka's on my front 3, and we've not bought anybody in January, just the people we have now.
Yeah, just the people you have tomorrow. Literally, just give me front 3.
My front 3 would be Trossard on the left, Jesus in the middle, Martinelli on the right.
Say
And
that again. Sorry.
Trossard on the left, Gabriel Jesus as my 9, and Martinelli on the right. Martinelli for Saka.
Okay, fair enough. That's the answer right there. Big up to you, Emmanuel. Thank you for the super chat. Guys, big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Let's get to 200 likes ASAP. We got 450 people watching. Big up to you guys. I appreciate you all. So let's get the likes up right now, Habibis. Now, high line, mate. Let's talk about Mr. Postecoglou. Let's talk about a certain guy who sat in the bottom left corner who got away with it because Hamza wanted to have a Salah legacy conversation for no reason.
Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
You know,
I
we as I say about Salah, man, he's not Hazard. Thank you very much, man. That's all I have to say, man.
What?
Unless you heard me last week. He's not Hazard. That's it. Simple.
Hey, all I will say about Salah, and
Yeah, he's not Hazard. He's better.
this is
It's
me
clear.
as a United
Hazard's
fan.
clear.
He keeps this up, and if they win the Champions League and Premier League, Ballon d'Or talks. I'm sorry, but this is me as a United fan.
Oh,
It's
100%.
just
Put the weapon down, man. Put the
it's
weapon down.
justified that he
100%.
Ballon d'Or talks for sure.
I'm still surprised that they're not talking about Mo Salah as a Ballon d'Or. Like forget this season. He's already showed levels. Like I hate to say this. I hate to say this as an African. I think it's because he's an African player. It took George Opongwe years ago and Abedi Pele of Ghana to be recognized by FIFA at any point or even any like European. But it's yeah, man. I'm
Also, we know how they give winners of the Ballon d'Or anyways. It's based off
This
of
is
what
messed
you
up.
win and shit like that. Like, yeah,
It's
we
messed
know
up now.
it's messed up. So it's like
This is why Salah has to keep doing this crazy shit to get
he
this
has to
Ballon
keep
d'Or.
he has to keep this going. That's
That's
the
the
only way
reality.
he wins it. Yeah, reality.
But anyway, guys, focus, all 3 of you. Listen, I'm way like Spurs are so beneath my level. I don't even want to cook them, to be honest with you. They're just
Wow, we.
Hello, Jacob.
You know,
Hello,
shout
Jacob.
out to Lewis as he says pest control. You know, just took care of the mosquito. You get me? Stepped on it, just slapped it. It's dead now. You know, it's been dead. You know,
Revenge
Spurs
for
is
last year
dead
too.
club.
Revenge for
In
last
the
year.
word of Judge
3
Mo.
point lane, man. Welcome to 3 point lane. That's what I always say.
In the words of Judge Mo, what
All
is
of
the
us can
point
say
of
that. All of
Spurs?
us
What
can
is the
say
point of Spurs? You know, Spurs are here to just entertain. What is the point of Spurs?
Do you know what?
This
is-
man-
Deontay concepts,
what
man.
is- you know
Deontay
what the
concepts.
story is?
We
You
were
don't think so?
5-1 up in their own backyard after 61 minutes, mate. That's just.
That
Bro, and you know what
Deontay
it is?
concept hit
We
different.
we literally went to neutral. That's why we conceded twice. If we continued attacking, I think we could have scored like 9. No exaggeration.
No,
But
I think
regardless,
you guys conceded at the end just to make it a good game for the fans to watch. Like just
Yeah,
to make
we
it a
wanted
high
to-
scoring game.
want to get that suitcase back, Jake.
You know what it is, man. You know what it is, guys. Yeah, I found out what the point of Spurs is, man. They're about to become a future K-pop group, innit? You know what I mean? Because of Son. That's what they need now, man. We need to get BTS. You know what I mean? At the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So, come
The
on,
one
man.
thing I
Let's
will
get
say
that,
though,
man.
like all like jokes aside, seriously, that I respect him so coming out and saying that I'm not going to change the way that we play, and we're going to continue to play with the philosophy that I have. I respect that, to be honest, because I've been saying this too. I feel like this is not entirely on him. It's on the people up above, because I feel like whatever's happening to him right now will happen to the next manager, will happen to the manager after that as well, will happen to the manager after that as well, because up until you start becoming an actual club that cares about what's happening on the pitch rather than whether Beyonce is going to have a concert at the stadium or not. Until that happens, things are going to be this way. And
Yep.
that's what I honestly think. And I feel bad for Ange because I actually think he's a good manager.
Yeah, but
But
then
this
Ange has
situation
no
that he has
plan
right
B,
now.
though. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
But
That
the
is
thing
not-
The other
is,
side of it is that he doesn't have no plan.
Yeah,
B,
when Plan A works, hey, you win, baby. You just win. Ain't
Yes,
no need for
but-
B, C, D,
Even
E.
even the
Okay, but here's the thing.
even the name of the
Jacob's
club,
plan A.
even the name
Jacob's
of the club,
plan A is kickboxing. He's the best kickboxer in the world. You have 3 men with machine guns approaching you. You don't kickbox against them.
Yeah, every single gun out of their hand. What
Yeah,
the? Like a Jackie
that's-
Chan movie, kicking and shit.
That's why it's a movie. It's not reality.
What
Here's the thing.
Jackie
with-
Chan
when-
really did those stunts, though. It is reality.
when you're playing certain clubs,
clubs.
I know City doesn't apply this season. They don't apply, but I'm saying in general, when you're playing,
Well, you
a
know,
City,
Ainge broke Pep, so we can still mention
whatever.
that.
When you're playing City, Liverpool, Real Madrid, like the best clubs in the world, you know, you have to plan for the way that they come at you. Playing a high
Fuck
line
them.
against Salah,
Fuck
Diaz,
them.
and Gakpo.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to change the man I am because the lady
Listen,
might
but
like
then-
a different type of man. No,
Yeah,
you either like it or love it, baby.
Not the
But then
point, though,
they have
Jacob.
they have
That's not the
situations
point.
where they're playing Archie Gray as a center back. Like this
Yeah.
is stuff like that I'm talking about. Is that they have situations like that, like against Diaz.
I agree with you.
Salah,
So
and all
don't
those
play
guys.
high
We have
line. then.
one-
True.
Park the bus. Lose 1-0.
What kind of
respectfully.
message does that send to the young
Lose
lads?
1-0
Hey,
respectfully. Don't concede.
because I don't think you're good enough to operate
concede
in
5
a
in
certain
1
way.
hour.
Huh?
yeah, we shouldn't be saying that though. Listen, Archie Gray, you're not a centre back.
1-0
Archie
respectfully.
Gray, you're not a centre
So,
back,
Jacob-
so therefore you should. But like the thing is about Angia is that everyone knew this already about him. So like I don't know why people are surprised that he's not changing anything.
Nobody's
guy
actually,
is a-
nobody's surprised.
But,
Nobody's
like-
surprised. But I think it's just like this is the thing, Jacob. You're saying stick to your guns even if you're going to die. Like, what is that?
But that's what he's.
You must not remember the
But it's
Alamo,
supposed to be-
Dio. I could give you a fucking history lesson, but everyone's heard it.
Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Don't make me teach you about the Alamo
No, but
because I don't
actually,
forget.
I'm with Jacob though, because
Listen,
I don't think he really
Well-
he hasn't been able to try Plan A. Plan A was
hasn't
never
even
in
been back
effect
for
because
Plan
he's
A.
never
So
been
if
back
Amarim
to
is the
Plan A.
forward-thinking manager, you want him to go to Anfield and play open and expensive.
No, but right now, if we're not
But
even
you
on
said
the United
no then,
section,
so your point-
They say don't
but
play open
no,
and
one second.
expensive versus
Are you
City,
not
and we
supposed to
turned them
plan-
over.
Hold on, listen. Are you not supposed to plan?
Open
for
and
who-
expensive versus you last year, and we
Wait,
won.
but Hossam, so let's say we lose our next 3 games. Do you think I want Ruben to come out and be like, yeah, I'm changing the back 3. We're gonna play back
That's
4.
not the point. That's not what
No,
I'm
but
saying.
that-
talking about
no, but
changing.
It's like,
Okay,
hey,
I'm
I've
saying
assessed the
right now, I
situation. Y'all are way
understand.
shitter than I thought. Therefore,
I'll
I'm going to change the entire way that I approach the game.
That is not what we're
no,
saying.
Men don't do
no.
that.
Jacob,
I
Jacob,
am
that's
not
what we're
saying that. Okay, one second. Let me explain it first.
Jeez.
I am not saying that Ainge.
Have you ever seen the movie 300? You know, Gerard Butler built a whole career
Jacob,
off that fucking
Forget the
movie.
Alamo and the movies, you fraud. Just let
He
me
did,
land
to
the
be fair.
These are real stories. They're not movies.
Let me
They're
land the
real
point,
life.
you fraud. No one gives a fuck about the
This
movies.
is
Just forget me.
Hold on, hold
Let me
on.
say-
It's
let
a
me
fucking mindset, Hassam. You don't get it.
This
You're
is
not built of the
horrible.
same cloth. That's what I'm talking about.
You don't tell me the host. I think
Yeah, you don't get it either. Now let me speak. Here's the let me just land the point, okay? I'm not saying Ainge should change his style full stop. Me, currently as things stand, guys, who's the best team in Europe and in England?
Just
Tottenham
say it, man.
Hotspur.
You want to make it by yourself.
Liverpool.
Just say it, man.
Statistically,
Tottenham
Liverpool,
Hotspur.
okay. So if Liverpool is coming to your backyard, I know that their biggest strength is this
I don't
guy
give a
playing
damn
like,
what their biggest strength is.
and their forward line.
Who
I
cares?
will, because I have Archie Gray and Dragusin.
Jet
I
Spence
can-
was locking up Salah
I-
for a minute there, so talk to me.
Jacob, can I land, please? Can I
Yeah,
land?
we're doing just fine.
Can I land? Thank you. Can I just land? Thank you very much. So when it comes to the specific situation, I'm talking specifically Shikh. I'm not saying general. When you play anyone else in the league, I get it. I'm saying you're coming up against the best team currently. Your center backs are Archie Gray and Dragusin. You get me? Your
yeah.
left back is Jed Spence. Your right back is Pedro Porro. Your goalkeeper is
care.
Fraser Forster.
Irrelevant.
That back five is a back five from hell right there. So what do? I tell them, guys, yes, we're a very offensive thinking team. We're a forward thinking team. But if we attack and we leave spaces in behind, these guys are going to murder us. And that's it. So what do? Instead of me raising my gun, I raise my shield this time. And even if you do lose, speaking of the Alamo, even if you do
He
lose,
doesn't have a gun.
lose-
We didn't give him
you
no
lose
gun,
for
no
1-0.
shield.
You know,
It's
you lose
him.
with a 2-0. Maybe Van Dijk scores off a set piece. Maybe Salah scores a wonder goal. You go like, you know what,
Who
guys?
cares? It's still
we
a
get
loss.
Yeah, but
Who
that's
cares
the
what a
point.
fucking
You cannot
6-3
lose
or a 2-0? Who gives a
in your own
shit?
backyard.
Who
But what's the
cares?
difference
Who
between a
cares?
1-0 and a
No,
6-0?
That's what I'm
because
saying.
this
It's
is
still a
actually
loss.
pissing me
What's the
off.
difference between a
Because
1-0 and a
no,
6-3?
just let me talk for a second.
What's the
Just let me
difference?
talk for a second.
Six
I don't
goals at
give a
home.
fuck. It's a
goals,
loss.
6 goals,
You either win, you lose, or you draw. And that is
Exactly.
it. I don't give a fuck about the score line. It could have been 7-2. It doesn't matter. We still did not get 3 points. That is the point.
You don't
So
think the
what,
score
this
line
whole
matters?
like, oh, just get your ass slapped appropriately. Fuck you. Fuck off. Everyone who thinks that I should just bend over and take it. Fuck that. I am myself. Ainge is himself. We are gonna be ourselves, and we're gonna do whatever the fuck we want to do based off of what has given us success in the past. Now, if it doesn't always work, that's going to be the case. But it doesn't mean that it's not always going to not work. So,
Okay, so you disagree with the
hold
fact
on,
that
hold on, Hussam,
there are
Hussam,
humiliating losses and there is losses where you fight and you like. So you're taking away the fact that there are humiliating losses.
they fought
This is-
harder
this is
yesterday.
fault.
The players fought harder yesterday than the starters that played versus Crystal Palace, Ipswich, or versus Brighton. So I'm looking at those 3 matches, and we fought harder yesterday. So I'm less ashamed of yesterday than I am of Crystal Palace, Ipswich, etc. Because again, the best team in the world right now, and my team did not give up. There was players out there who did not give up, regardless of how much they were getting fucking stepped on. And they were getting stepped on. And even with the starting 11, Liverpool are levels clear of Tottenham's squad. They have been. There's a reason you could just bring in a manager, sign Federico Chiesa, and you are now better. You are now competing harder. So to me, there's always been levels to the squad. Now, we won last year, and I'm going to always enjoy that because, again, we are levels below. But when you strive and you try to achieve something and you fall short, again, what was it? There's I think his name's Birkinshaw. No, I always thought it was Bill Nicholson's quote, but it's someone else's quote. Someone correct me. And he says, it's better to fail while aiming high than to succeed while aiming low. And that was a guy who, Birkinshaw, maybe, I don't know. It was some old fuck who said that, and I agree with it.
Jacob, you give an analogy of 300, and when I was trying to explain earlier, when I say change how you play or how you defend or how you attack, or I'm not saying Ant should change his style. Now 300, they were smart enough to know that they would be outnumbered if they went into an open space, and so they went into a place where it was narrow so that they could funnel those people and they could get more out of it. Is what I'm talking about.
Do you think 300 people really thought they were going to defeat 20,000 soldiers?
That's my point. I'm saying,
But he still done at the end of the day, didn't
I'm
he?
talking about your back up against the wall. I'm not talking about the actual tactics of what the soldiers did. I'm talking about the mentality and the mindset of the men that it took to get to that point, to stand up. Exactly. And so did they at the Alamo. And these are 2 real historical facts, not just fucking movies.
Jacob,
Don't worry, I know the story.
Dayo, if you just listen, you would fucking understand more. I hope you know
the story of the
that.
Alamo. If you listen to
You've been
us-
talking this whole time I'm trying to talk. Jacob, the whole time I'm fucking talking.
Yeah, because you're triggered. You're triggered because you know you're.
Yes, you are triggered, Jacob. You don't let me
I'm
land
not
either.
triggered. I'm correcting y'all's
You don't let me
buffoonery.
land either, you fraud.
I'm correcting your buffoonery.
What are you correcting?
I understand where Jacob's coming from.
What did I? What did I?
Because
say?
you don't get it. I'm talking about the
What did I say?
mentality, the mindset.
I have addressed the mentality. I am
If you
saying,
park the bus,
And that is the
then
number
game
one thing that has been a
win.
problem at
I didn't
Tottenham,
even say
transcendent of
park
any
the bus.
manager.
I didn't even say
Okay,
park the bus.
you're
I didn't
saying
even
there
say
are
park
three
the bus.
outcomes:
I'm
win,
saying that
lose,
there
or
are many
draw.
ways- many
Okay,
ways-
your outcome of winning would have been significantly higher had you played defensive football or drawing, because teams have done it against us before. Nuno Santo, Nottingham Forest.
So you're saying play defensive football with one senior defensive player and that back.
Yes,
That's what you're.
you park the bus with midfielders.
So
in
that's what you're
defense.
saying. No, so you just took the piss and you said it's a backline from hell, but trust them to defend against the best team in Europe.
yeah,
Okay, that
Well,
makes no
I'm
sense.
actually- I'm
That makes
actually gonna
complete
help-
sense,
I'm actually
Sam.
going to help Jacob
Trusting them to
slightly.
defend.
That makes no sense. This
on
isn't
a-
fucking
on a
FIFA.
deeper,
But they
This is
can't
Archie
defend
Gray.
either way,
Jet
though.
Spence.
They can't
trusting them to defend in a deeper line is better than trusting them to defend in a high line.
But they're both bad, bro. They can't defend.
Yeah.
You've only
The
got one guy that can
George
defend.
Washington
That's the problem.
said when we fucking whooped the England's ass, he said the best form of a defense is a potent attack. And guess what? That's what we went with because we have a very weak defense. Bottom line. So to
Okay.
trust a weak
Yeah.
defense to defend is fucking weird. Why
Yes.
don't you go on the attack and maybe then you could put it in the ball in your own court? That's what we tried to do. And when it was 0-0, there was two different chances where we could have scored and we didn't because we weren't efficient enough. And then y'all punished us and then continued to punish us. And then we showed some fight. Then you punished us again and closed out the game. So it's like, to me, I'm less ashamed of what I saw yesterday. And as a result, as a performance from a player's mindset, mentality, and what I saw on the pitch, I'm less ashamed
It's
of
History
that.
Channel,
than
actually, Toxic Touch. It's meant to be History Channel, man, not Discovery Channel. It's History
Discovery
Channel.
Channel,
Let's get it
man.
right,
History
firstly.
Channel,
But
everything.
No,
secondly-
sorry that I know things. My bad.
But
I'll be fucking stupid next time. Like, oh, Coco Melon said the bus goes fucking round and round. Shut your ass up.
He did not say Coco Melon, but guys,
I don't
we
think he
have
said it in that way, to be fair, but okay. He
You
just
know what
got
the
cooked.
issue is?
Sorry.
You know what the issue is? You know what the issue is? Yeah, I'll say this to Spurs is that I think. Listen, I get and what Andy's doing, whether we like it or not. Yeah, it's probably gonna happen. Another manager that comes in, he might do defensive football, but the outcome's still gonna remain the same, in my personal opinion. At Spurs, they need actual recruitment consistently. That's gonna help this team get to where they are. They need to be backing managers with respect to their tactics. The problem with Ange is they're bringing in guys that do not help, that A, are either not good enough to help him with the team or are not at the level, or B, just like really young players like Archie Gray, Bergvall, guys like that who are like way too young to impact the squad as they are right now. And it all comes back to like, we know who, Daniel Levy. But the problem is, I just don't see Spurs fans talk about this guy. Like, why is there? I don't see no protest about this guy. I don't hear anything like people like saying, doing boycotts or stuff like that. Like, we don't see anything when it comes to him. Like, why is that not happening?
Yeah, but they
If we-
won't protest.
But why not? But why not though? They should be.
Yeah,
doing
but we
if
all
they-
know
if they know
Daniel
what the
Levy's
issue
biggest
is.
club at Spurs, but they won't protest that.
So, but what's the, so then
They were
so then-
protesting
so
and they
then-
were getting laughed at.
So then,
There was
so
like
then my
7
problem,
protesters.
see, so then my
Hush.
problem becomes, at the end of the day, then you should be expecting this to happen. You know
Ahmed,
what I mean?
at what point do we say that a consistent way of playing can be found out, and you play who, of course, is in front of you, and whoever you're going to play?
Yeah, but if you're good enough, they can't stop it.
I'm just,
bottom line.
I'm coming. Like, listen, if you're good enough and you're found out, that means that they found a way to get by how good you are. You have to also adapt. Adapting does not mean you're changing your whole philosophy of how you play. It means that you're playing certain players at certain times in the game, in certain moments, to do certain things, to nullify the other team so that you can play how you want to play. But if you just play how you want to play without nullifying them, leaving all that space, you'll be punished. Now, the reason
But being good enough in the way that you want to play can nullify
I'll give you
that.
an example. Listen, I watched your game, and I like how Ange Postecoglou plays, right? But when you have your original back four out of the game and you have a weaker back four, at this point, you're like, we will get our chances in between where we're going to play the way we normally play. But I would like you guys to hold off first, draw them in, and then let's hit them with our move.
I get
But
that.
don't
Tweak,
just tweak.
Yeah,
like,
that's
I
all I'm
think
saying
I,
as well.
I think that
That's
just
all
comes
I'm-
down to preference of like personal preference because some people
That's
go
all I'm
like Bruce Lee's not wrong in the whole take the shape of the vessel you are in, and that approach is what it sounds like to me. Be like water, be
No, no,
the
no, like-
glass,
no,
be
no,
the
no, I
bowl.
think-
But
no,
Ainge is
Jacob,
not fucking Bruce
Jacob,
Lee.
Jacob,
He
I'm not
is
saying-
not the water. He is
That's not
Ainge
what I'm talking about.
Postecoglou. He is the
Again-
man at the Alamo who will die
Again-
on his sword, whether for right or for wrong, because it's about principle. It is about mentality. It is about mindset. And I'm sorry, but the American in me resonates with that wholeheartedly. Be you, be unashamedly you. Let your man titties out. Who gives a fuck who sees them?
Again, you have taken what I said in a different direction. That's not what I said. I didn't ask you to change. I didn't ask Ange Postecoglou to change who he is. I did not say he should change the mentality. I simply said learning to adapt in the game for a few minutes to throw your opponent off. If you're going, look, the thing about it is this, right? Regardless of how you do it, in any sport that you do, I'm sure you did sports. I did martial arts. There are certain people that you're going up against. I did judo.
You did martial arts, Dayo? Which one?
Yeah, judo. I have a second dan black belt in judo. I have medals.
Ooh.
Yes,
Damn.
Okay,
Hey,
good to
no,
know.
let me tell you.
I ain't pulling up on that. Hey, I ain't pulling up on that.
Hey, listen, let me
Don't
tell
mess with
everyone
Dayo.
watching something. Everyone stop. Guys, anyone knows judo, don't fuck with them. That's the worst
Yeah,
one
no.
because this guy can break your bones. He can make you disabled. He can
Just
do a
don't let
whole
him
lot-
grab you. Yeah, just
Yeah.
don't let him
Bro,
grab hold of you.
Don't mess with the judo fraud, bro. Let me tell you right now. Judo is the worst one.
I'm a pro kickboxer, so you know I'm an 82
No,
pro
but here's
kickboxer.
what
There
I'm
you
saying.
go.
Like, I'll give you an example. See, Jacob, I'm not trying to.
This guy is the
I
biggest
love-
liar on this
I
platform.
love how Ange.
I will donate money to charity if you kickboxed once in your life. Stop it. You have
Ahmed.
never kickboxed.
I'm
You cannot
laughing, bro.
kickbox
It's a
like
joke.
that.
Kickboxing
It's a
nation.
joke, Sam.
Kickboxing nation.
It's Sam.
Stop
It's a
it.
joke. I'm just
That's
trying to troll.
kickboxing.
Like,
Stop
it's
it,
a little
bro.
joke. It's a little
You
joke.
couldn't even fight the closet behind you. Yahi. Stop. Yeah.
So,
Please.
Jacob, I'll give you an
I can break that one punch.
Jacob, I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about.
Fine.
There were competitions that I went into, and I knew that this guy was better. But I knew that if I knew,
Oh,
what
my
I knew what my strengths were, right? And I was like, I'm going to use my strengths, but I'm going to run down the clock because once he feels that he's not getting any points on me and the clock is running down, it affects his mentality. He wants to rush and do that move. I know how to counter that move or dodge that move or just cut. And that's what I did till I got my 3 points and I ran the clock down and I won. Then when I faced him in the next round, he had figured out what I wanted to do. He let me start doing my nonsense. And when he got the chance, he knocked me out. I woke up in the back of an ambulance. Like, it happens. But the first time,
Yeah.
so I'm saying, like, it's about just figuring out, like, I love
In relation to fighting, I see it as like
I love
Ainge has made a career off of knocking dudes out with that right, like Chuck Liddell, right? He had the overhand right. He's just knocking dudes out with the overhand right. That was his thing. As he got older, it was like, bro, we know I'm watching for the overhand right. I'm gonna counter it, and then he started getting knocked out. It is a natural thing, but like, I'm not gonna fault Ainge for believing in the thing that has won him all of his accolades.
No,
So
I'm just saying
I
the
trust
game-
his overhand right. Will it land? We'll see. As of yesterday or versus Liverpool, it did not land. We almost got knocked out versus United, but it landed a few times and we won that. It's one of those, like, it is a, you know, again, for right or wrong. I'm not saying I know best and I'm defending Ainge, so that's what's right. I'm just saying I can understand why this man feels the way he does, approaches it the way he does, because it has been the thing that has worked for him for so long. And so when you are brought in to do the thing that you've been doing, it's like, well, I'm going to do what I've been doing, which is that overhand right. Now, for better or worse, sometimes versus weaker opponents who just know how to counter that overhand right, metaphorically, they beat us. Ipswich, Brighton, well, Ipswich drew, but it feels like a fucking loss. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Cherries. All you need to do is you can set up, like what you're saying, in a fight, you know what their strengths are, how they're going to do things. You setting up in a way to counter it, that's going to lead you to success typically. But if that overhand right connects, you're doomed.
You know, or set up in a way where you nullify their strength so that you can play what you want to play. And that's all I'm saying about Ange. Like, so for me, here's the thing. I love how Ange likes to play football. I like that pressing, like, yo, guys, I don't care. Get in the final third and make something happen. It's a good way to play.
Line for life.
But whenever you're playing a different team, and this is one thing that I expect that my team should also do. Like, whoever you're playing, right? You have your philosophy, you know their strengths, you know your weaknesses. You don't want to expose your weaknesses to a team like Liverpool or to a team like even against Manchester United. If Arsenal exposes their weaknesses, we can be done in. The point is protecting your weaknesses, which was the weakness for you guys when I watched the game was you didn't have your standard back four. So that was a weakness in itself. You want to protect that weakness, regardless of how much you want to play. At the same time, you also want to play the way you play. Exposing that weakness of not having your standard back four to any team spells doom. That's all. That's the mistake that I'm seeing that he made, in the sense that he still went all out and played his game the way he normally plays it, but did not.
Well, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah,
and that's what I
yeah.
mean. You live by the sword, you die by the sword, and that's we're just seeing it play out.
If you
And
had
sometimes
the
people are like,
standard-
maybe
if you had the
don't
standard-
use the sword.
If you had
I
the
don't
standard
think,
back
like,
four, I wouldn't be saying this. If you had your standard back four, I'd expect that you guys play the way you play, and I think you would have gotten something out of that game if you had your standard back four. I think if you had
Yeah,
your
that
regular
too.
for
Or we could have still lost because it's the best team in Europe. Everyone acting like losing to the best fucking informed team is somehow like a blemish. It's really not. Like it does make me a little bit more apathetic going into the semis.
Can I ask you a question? Did he lose with dignity? I think the question they're saying, did he lose with dignity or did he lose with no dignity? That's a thing. Like I mean, they're coming from the point. Their perspective is like there's a way to lose with some level of like dignity, to have.
There's no dignity to losing.
There's no
That's
way
just
of
fucking
losing.
stupid.
There's no
That's
way
some
of
weird.
losing.
That's
Yeah.
some weird salad fork, steak fork on the right of your soup fucking spoon.
There's no, like,
weird
right way or
England
wrong way of
bullshit.
losing. Yeah,
This is you lost, but you lost real nice. No, you fucking lost. All right. Now, am I going to lose swinging with everything I've got, or am I going to go down with a bit of dignity, put on my little cherry lapstick, and I'll just lay down for you there, Daddy? No, fuck you. I'm going to fight you till I'm done.
What accent was that?
Yo.
What?
That's
See, like
my
me,
impression of these, because they said the same thing on the American broadcast. They're like, oh, he should have set up so they could lose 2-1 or 3-1. Are you fucking stupid? Are you fucking stupid? What kind of loser mentality is that? Oh, just lay down and take it so it's less painful. Shut up. Shut up.
Hence why,
Me personally, like, I don't think Ange is like entirely safe from any type of like criticism. I don't think any manager, as good as they can be, are safe from any type of like criticism when it comes to that. However, I look at this season and I'm just like, if Ange is gonna put like with this squad that he has and Spurs have provided to him, if you're pulling up to gunfights with knives every single time, this is going to be the result. And like every single time, this is what he has to kind of do. Look at the injuries they have. They got to play. I've literally mentioned they got to play Archie Gray as a center back against a team like Liverpool. Forget Liverpool, play Archie Gray as center back against any other team, and you'll probably not see 6-3, but you'll see the same result. It could be a loss. So it's like
I would say one thing though, Jacob, and everyone. I definitely think there is a way to lose. Like Shikh. Okay, listen, Jacob. Shikh.
I'm just laughing. I'm allowed to laugh at your opinion.
No, you're allowed to do anything you want. But Shikh lost at Anfield 7-0. There is a way to lose games. Like he's lost at Anfield before, but the 7-0 was the most humiliating, embarrassing loss. That's the difference I'm saying. I'm saying you're looking at it from a go down swinging in our style. I'm saying what puts you in the best position to try get something against Liverpool, which you are right, very difficult because only one team has beaten them. And we've only drawn 3 times this season. The only team that was successful was a team that went defensive a little bit, and that was the only point I'm making to try limit what Liverpool are doing. That's it.
And
I would also say at that point, which Forrest got success versus you, Salah wasn't hitting the fucking stride that he's in right now. Luis Diaz wasn't hitting. If I remember correctly, because I tuned into Don Hassan watch-alongs, you were cursing Luis Diaz. You were saying send him back to Colombia. I'm not allowed in Colombia because of the way I speak on Luis Diaz. But look at he's on fire right now. Mo Salah's on fire right now.
You went there, huh?
Of course I went there. Of course, I don't forget shit, bro. I'm the squid. Come on.
Let's also talk about the fact that in this
Me
game,
and the Colombians have made peace.
In this EPL,
Gloria,
you're allowed in Medellin now.
So Jacob,
I am allowed in
remember that
Bogota, yeah, you out here in Bogota.
Gloria,
I need to grab my drink real quick. I hear you, but I need to grab my drink out the freezer.
Hosam, I'm saying Jacob needs to also understand that in this league, the amount of goals you lose by or you concede also matters because it all adds up at the end of the season for you. It could be the difference between them going to Europa and them not making it there because of how tight the table is.
Let me ask you a question now, Dayo.
For me,
forget Spurs. Yeah. I want to ask you, since you are both of you on this top row, are you worried now, mate?
Worried about what?
What am I worried about, Annie?
About Liverpool. No, I'm not worried
about I'm just concerned about getting top 4, mate. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get like second and third place secured. I was never in a title race. I told you this before. So
Dayo, for the record, saying
bro,
how Dayo, you gonna try and explain something? Did you know a bicycle, the word bi means 2, therefore it has 2 wheels? Did you know? Yes, I fucking know goal difference matters. What kind of weird shit is that?
Listen, I'm not. See, Hossam is talking about how embarrassing it is. I don't care about embarrassment. The loss is a loss. I'm saying that because you are in a league that the amount of goals that you score and that you concede matters. I would always try to limit the amount of goals I concede, even if I'm going to lose to that team, because it matters at the end of the day to what my position might be. That's what I'm saying.
This just illustrates you don't hear what I'm saying, or you don't understand what I'm saying. Maybe I need to say it differently, because what I'm saying is, if we went out there and executed, which is what we were trying to fucking do, goal difference doesn't fucking matter because you win the game.
But I'm saying when you're at the point where you are like at a,
it's irrelevant. These are just symptoms of
again
the original thing,
from the
which
very
is win the game.
Jacob, from the very beginning of the game, you had a back four that you knew that was not the back four you would like to play. So you already know that you're already going in handicapped against the best team in England and in Europe already. So I'm saying from that perspective, you're saying to yourself, regardless, I'm going to go here and try to win this game. But even if I'm going to lose it, I don't want to lose because I'm in a league where goals difference matters, points matter, right? If I'm going to lose, I want to make sure that at least if I lose 3 points, I don't rack up a mad goals difference. Again, that's all I'm saying. And there's nothing wrong with that. You might not like the way it sounds. You might want to just believe that everybody needs to go in swinging. And even if they beat me 8-0, I did my best. Yeah, I fought really hard. But
so I got the 4th best goal differential in the league.
Yeah,
but apparently it's such a bad goal differential result for me.
I didn't say it's a bad. I'm just saying over. Here, hear me again. After 38 games, if you keep doing the same thing and you keep getting slapped up this way, it's going to affect. And that's all I'm saying.
This is one time that we've lost by a goal differential of 3.
Which is
one time.
Okay. And I just said again. I said if you keep again, hear what I said. If this type of thing continues in other games,
we will be there in the Chelsea downfall.
I'm not saying that I'm not.
He knows my tactics, man. The snitching in the comments. Stop snitching.
I was listening, Dayo. I promise.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the same way I'm looking at Mikel Arteta and saying, now that you don't have Bukayo Saka, there's certain ways you don't go out to play right now, because if you do that and we get slapped up.
But Arteta's shown to be the malleable manager, where he will adjust based off of what he thinks should happen versus any given opponent. That's the difference. It's just a difference in preference, in my opinion. For right or wrong, it is just a difference in preference. And like, I just see it. You know, Ainge has a resume with that overhand right, so he's going to continue to throw the overhand right. It makes sense.
Okay, guys, listen. Let's. I'm
not a football manager. I've never won a Premier League. I've never won a Carabao Cup as a manager. I don't know what the correct tactic is. You could win one
this year. You could win.
Yeah, okay, mate. Okay.
Play the fucking kids. The kids.
Guys. The game against Spurs will be done by the first leg. I don't even need to play at Anfield. Anyway, when it comes to
players feel that way as well. Because if they do, they're getting punched right in the fucking mouth.
Jacob, you said the same thing last time. You had the bald manager theory, and I told you, you get me. It's not gonna be.
That's the only string I have.
Yo, me.
Jacob, you just said it yourself. We're the best team in Europe. We're the best team in England. You get me? I'm gonna be.
Why am I not on the top again? What happened to me not being on the top? What's going on?
Because you said top 4, so you're a fraud. Anyway,
it's not being a fraud. What do you mean?
Can I? Are you gonna respect the people who paid their hard-earned money supporting the channel, mate?
No, I'm not going to respect them. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Wow, I'm sorry, chat. I always respect you. Chat. Big up to all of you.
Man. Respect.
Big up. Respect. Yeah, respect to the people who help support the channel.
0 for
and the future of Don Hussam's life. You get me? Putting food on the table, buying my mother gifts and stuff. You don't even respect that. That's crazy, mate. Anyway, big up to all of you guys. Let's get the likes up. Let me just do these super chats before we move on to the 2 shit clubs, Man United and Chelsea. Jacob, just rest to the mountains and meditate. This is the craziest super chat because he's actually going to do that. So big up to you, Papa Beer.
Yeah, I'm blessed in life. going to the mountains.
Yeah, cabin.
For the holidays.
Big up the panel.
Cabin.
In the woods.
Off topic, but it looks like Amram and United are going to offload Rashford and Garnacho in January. Good riddance, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, perfect. Absolutely perfect. January, should I do today if it was up to me? But it is what it is. 1 out the door. Couple more still left, though. Don't worry. Couple more still left.
All right, man. Garnacho still starting. He'll be here, man, by end of January. Watch.
Inshallah, the day comes when I can celebrate Bruno's leaving my club as well. Bruno. Big up to Gonzo who says, I'm really surprised at the result. It was a top 5 side against Tottenham. Then he corrects himself. He says, meant to say a game with these 2 top 6 teams. Sorry, a top 5 team in Tottenham. Yeah, we don't count Tottenham as part of the top 6 anymore, innit? We have abandoned them.
Good thing the Premier League doesn't give a shit that your opinion is that.
The Premier League actually officially doesn't have a top 6.
Well, the Premier League's a bunch of dickheads. How about that?
I agree with you, especially
Where do
the
we go
referees.
from here? No, I'm
Especially
just saying
the-
monetarily, we'll always be in the big six because of the money. Whether the results are there, it's shown in 24 years, doesn't fucking matter the results. Just stay relevant, make money, and you're there, baby. And you know who's failed to do that? Everyone else that's not named Tottenham.
Yeah, guys, just get your money up. I don't think we can get Spurs
Yeah.
back to where they belong, mid-table.
Get your money.
I
up,
hope he
get your
never
money up,
changes.
man.
We get to play them in the cups and at Anfield. We'll see if he still holds that kangaroo high line. Bro, listen. If Ainge is still their manager, if Ainge is still their manager, we're through to the Carabao Cup final. Hopefully, you know, Newcastle do their job against Arsenal so we can beat Newcastle.
Hey, stop this nonsense. Newcastle do
Bro,
what?
bro, I'm responding to African Cup. He's a Liverpool fan. Relax,
Newcastle,
mate.
Newcastle do what job is what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about your African cats. You guys can have your talk about you and Tottenham. Why you bring
Respect
me?
African Cat, mate. He's Togolese.
Thank you, African.
Adebayor is your greatest ever striker. Hold that. Big up to you,
Who said that?
African Cat.
Hold on, what do you say?
You're
I
just
should-
joking.
who's
Let
Togolese?
it go.
Hey,
Oh,
Hussam, but
Laugh
yeah,
it
man,
off,
respect
man.
respect
Laugh-
Arsenal,
Who's
respect
Togolese? Who's
Arteta. He's
Togolese?
won 3 trophies,
Laugh
bro.
it off.
He's won 3
Laugh it
trophies.
off.
No, I'm saying who's Togolese? I'm asking. I didn't. That's my neighbor. That's my brother.
African Cat is Togolese.
Oh, that's my brother. That's my West African brother. Now I'm Nigerian. What one and the same.
Oh yeah, now let's go. What success is the Spurs fan talking about? There is no success.
Well, historically, there's been plenty of success, just not in the last 24
yeah,
plus
not
years.
with Ainge, but he's basically saying until to get to the success, we need to play the same way. That's basically what I'm saying.
To get back to what Tottenham used to be. Spursy used to mean winning the European double, by the way. Something you Arsenal fans know nothing about.
That was before my dad was born. Jacob is talking about losing a lot of goals.
My
but
father is
forgot
89
that
and
you're
my
a-
father is 89 and he hasn't witnessed you win that European.
It doesn't change fucking history, does it? Just because the fucking World War I existed doesn't mean it didn't fucking happen. Just because the American Revolution existed before I was born
Yeah,
or my
also,
grandma was
Dayo,
born
that's very
doesn't mean
funny
it
coming
didn't
from
fucking
you.
happen. So we can't
That's
ignore
very funny
history now,
coming
can
from
we?
Dayo,
Did we not
man.
learn from
did
Vader's
I
little
say?
thing on the back?
What did
Those
Dayo?
who forget their past compromise their future?
Yes. Also, on top, he's actually still here. That's the funny part. I swear to God.
No
See?
way.
See? No, he does that for a camera slot for your layout to help you.
You guys are
Yeah,
That's
seeing
big up.
how
actually
the
Vader
Etihad
being a
looks.
good guy.
You guys are
Okay,
seeing a
so
live
now
view
I'm
of the
at
seats
four.
at the Etihad.
I have
Right
to be the bad guy always. It's funny for coming from you, Dayo. You won 5 of your league titles in the 1930s. Big up to African Cap says Jacob.
Like, listen, I
Jacob is
don't
talking
go
about
back to
losing a lot of goals, but forgot
Winning
that
two
is
trophies,
2-0.
man. Crazy.
You have a lot of chance to draw the game than having 5-1 at halftime.
It wasn't 5-1 at halftime. So what's your fucking point? It was 3-1, weirdo.
I think he's being hypothetical about it.
Well, it's just, if you're going to be hypothetical, but then try and base it in reality, why
They're
not fucking
5-1
just
the
talk about
same
what
team.
actually it was, which was 3-1 at halftime. And that is hard to come back from. But it's still a
5-1.
2-goal differential, like he's saying, was the like, a 2-0. That's 2 goals to come back from, right? 3-1 at halftime is the same fucking thing. What the fuck are we talking about?
Wow, Papa.
Oh,
Bear.
I think
Jacob,
Pape's
I
got
mean,
you here,
they-
man.
Respect,
Pape's
man,
got you here,
respect.
man. Pape's
Respect,
got
man.
you.
breathe, Jacob, breathe.
I mean, they tried to do it with Vietnam attack. Wow, you went there. You went to the war. They lost, didn't it? The
Oh, yeah,
attacking.
they tried the same thing.
Hey, big up, Papa
They
Bear.
walked in there
Thank
with the
you.
overhand right, and they knew hey, we
work
didn't
it.
know the landscape.
It didn't work.
That's what happens. You walk in there with the overhand right, you got
Oh, the
snuck.
overhand right.
It didn't work in Afghanistan. It didn't.
This
work
is the
in
thing,
Iraq.
though. That's what I was
Okay.
saying.
Listen,
Y'all are bringing
Well,
overhand
you don't
rights
want my
to
opinion
gunfights,
on
man.
that because we all know
No,
it
no,
was
no,
an
no,
inside
no,
job.
no. This is not Al Jazeera. Big up to Wake Up Mind. It said, I
was an
tried
inside
so
job.
hard that got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I hope you get what you want, Jacob. Spurs has
Fire
been
song.
managed poor for so long now. Okay,
So you hope I get what I want, which means we win 2 trophies this year. FA Carabao, talk to me nicely.
Not gonna happen. Highest goal scorer Spurs, but where are they? 10th right now, above Man
That
United.
just shows that these motherfuckers can't see the thing out.
Why do you have to mention above Man United? Like, people
Yeah,
know.
because you're my rival, and I hope you get
people
liquidated.
know. People know.
Now that Arsenal are out of the race, should chase.
Allah, they're not serious, man. Next super chat.
Arsenal chasing Champions League. You know?
Thank you for the £2, man. You know what I mean? Love, thank you
It
for the
was
£2.
all in our
Jack is a Liverpool fan, right?
Yeah,
No, I mean,
baby,
this is the sort of stuff we talk about where we're just like, man.
Jack,
I
you
don't-
deserve slap
Yeah, Chelsea
for
fan.
this comment.
No,
In all seriousness, eventually Arteta gonna need to decide which basket his eggs are going. He risks going trophyless again, playing catch up in the Premier League.
Hey, listen. Hey,
No,
hey.
seriously.
Carabao Cup and top 4. That's 4 trophies that Arteta's won now. So,
Come on, man. Yeah,
come on,
man.
man. That's
man.
4 trophies that he
Listen,
would have
man.
won.
You
Yeah,
said
man.
Carabao Cup on top 4?
Yeah,
If you
man.
get that this season,
You
that's 4. That's
condescending
4.
bastard.
That's
Yeah.
4
I love it.
trophies that you would have
No,
won.
no, no, no.
right
I
now.
Who's
don't
been a
know
better
Carabao.
manager in the
Wait,
Premier
first of all,
League, Ten
Sam,
Hag
Sam,
or
Hold on,
Arteta?
Hussam,
let's do
why
this
is this
again.
my
Who's
fault?
been a
when
better
his
manager in the
manager said
Premier
that?
League, Arteta or Ten Hag?
That's what they want. You know,
Wait,
honestly,
first of all,
I would
Can I
say
get an answer from y'all on the panel?
Arteta. He's won
Arteta-
more.
Who's had a better career in the Premier League, Arteta or Ten Hag?
Well, I mean, Arteta.
Arteta won more. We just told you.
Yeah,
Arteta
Arteta won two. He won 2 English Super
He won
Cups.
2 Super Cups and 1 FA Cup.
He won FA Cup, and he's
And
gonna
he
win a
might be
Carabao
on-
Cup. He might win a Carabao Cup this. He already matched. Ten Hag won a Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
Arteta won it too.
Facts,
He won
mate.
FA Cup. If he wins the FA
Yeah,
Cup, he's
like-
done even
Did you not
better.
hear Arteta's press conference, mate? He won
Yeah.
3 trophies, mate.
Yeah, man, he won 3 trophies.
Now I say some pretty out there shit, but I don't know what the hell I just heard.
Hey,
That's what
you
he
heard it
used to,
from
man. That's what
Arteta.
Arteta's saying. Yeah, that's Arteta.
Okay,
Arteta.
Jacob, this is what I want you to do. Open new tab as we read the rest of the super chats and just search Arteta Community Shield and you will understand the joke.
Arteta.
Hey guys, my name is Mikel.
Only one trophy in 5 years. And Charity Shield twice. Dubai meet twice.
Campione, campione. Oh my days. Big up to you, Jack. Big up, Jahilad.
Why is he so defensive?
Angefield, we dunked at the Tottenham slot Spurs Stadium. Ba, 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 ba. That's a good one.
That's actually a good one, Red
Thank
Line
you.
of Taranga. I'll give you that's a
Big
good
up,
one.
big
I have to say that's a good one because I feel pretty clever when I called Anfield Angefield. Well, soon to be. Soon to
Not
be.
gonna happen, mate. But big up to the Tottenham slot Spurs Stadium. We created
That's
9
actually good.
big
That's a
chances
good. That's
yesterday.
creative. That's good.
Madness. That's what happens when you have the best player in the world, mate. Big up to you, Red Line of Teranga. Gonzo says, funny you have a player named
But you also
Son.
had Trent Alexander-Arnold delivering crosses in a fucking basket.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. Funny you
That
have a player,
motherfucker.
funny you have a
Sorry.
player named Son when the rest of the top 5 are your daddy. There you go.
Damn.
Damn.
Except Man City,
No,
they always beat City. They always beat
Usually your
City.
super chatters are
can't
fucking
even say
lame. The
myself,
last few
yeah,
have
I
been
can't
pretty
even say
good. I'm like, wow, okay. That's good. That's a good one.
Hey, big up, mate. Big up. Big up to you, Gonzo, mate. Anyway, big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing as we get to the last segment of this stream, talking about the 2 dead clubs. Man United
Club,
and
though.
Chelsea.
Why didn't you work at my club?
Stop it, mate. You couldn't break down Sean Dyche, mate. Anyway,
You know, you're not going to do it too. I'll be honest,
Yeah,
man.
Hussam,
Hey,
you were
beating
nervous about
Everton
going
4-0 in for everybody. Now
You were
is it?
nervous
Bro,
about
we-
going to
we- we are
You
cursed
were
in that
nervous
picture.
about
Beating Everton 4-0 just ain't fair.
People
See,
think, yeah.
you could go adapt to Sean Dyche, right, Dayo? You'll go adapt to Sean Dyche, and what the fuck he do?
That's what I'm saying.
I was born in the darkness.
I know, but that's what I'm
Go
saying.
go ahead,
Really
Ahmed. What?
You
Say that
think
again, Ahmed.
darkness was
I
your
was just
ally?
going to say, yeah.
You think darkness is your ally?
Listen. I just
I
want to
was
make it clear.
born in the darkness.
No,
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
said pieces was your ally, Jacob.
I just want to make the point, yeah.
Set
Listen,
piece?
okay, so the point I'm just trying to make here is that, listen, if you knew about our history at Everton, we've won 1 in our last 6, yeah. We have not been good at this place, statistically speaking, all right? I don't know why people
That is
acting
true.
like
That is
you,
true.
yeah, this is a surprise picture. I said this year, our hardest picture was going to be Everton at Goodison Park. That was the hardest picture. You know what I mean, in that list, and we haven't been able to break the curse. But I'm happy, yeah, with so much pride and happiness, yeah, that we're never going back to Goodison Park. Alhamdulillah, we're not going back to Goodison Park anymore. Because when they go to they need
Unless
stadium,
you throw them in the FA
question
Cup.
Listen, I don't care. We'll beat them in FA Cup. We'll do it actually, but it's just in the Premier League for some reason. It doesn't happen when we play them in the Premier League. I don't know what's going on, bro. We've got some crazy thing, and the thing is, Dyche was actually playing
Wow.
a new type of football, man.
Bro,
He
that's
was
a man.
pressing me. Sean Dyche was pressing me. I couldn't believe I was seeing pressing football from Sean Dyche. I was like, when did he change? What happened, man? He's upgraded, man. I'm getting Sean Dyche 2.0 against me. So listen, at the end of the day, it's
Bro,
no. We
Sean
keep
Dyche always
pushing.
been slept on.
Listen, Sean Dyche, listen, big up to him. Listen, at the end of the day, man, we keep pushing. Yes, it's a draw, but listen, we've got Fulham next. My local rival. We're going to beat them, man. We're going to beat those guys. And then up to Ipswich. So listen, I'm not too worried, man. I'm honestly not too worried at the end of the day, man. We'll keep it pushing, man. We'll keep it pushing.
Cherries.
What do I have to say anymore about this team, man? I'm so sick and tired of these
Bournemouth
guys,
is a good
these
side, man.
players.
Hold your head up high. Bournemouth is a
Hey,
good
man,
side.
Is
Nah,
Amrin
it's
gonna
not
get
even
set like
that.
Potter? Is Amrin
No.
gonna get set like Potter?
No.
That's what
First
I'm
of all, I
saying.
do want to say this. Like, to all the guys who were talking about, oh, Ten Hag wasn't the problem. He lost 3-0 against Bournemouth. You absolute idiots. This is Ten Hag's squad. What are you talking about? Talking about Ten Hag wasn't the problem. This is a squad that he built. And this is why we're losing. So I'm Bruno Fernandes. These guys need to leave, bro. I hope he really is the next one that we start phasing out, because I'm so sick and tired of Bruno Fernandes and all these guys that want to bring up his GNA time and time again. But about the game itself, rubbish. Everyone on that pitch was terrible, including Amad Diallo. Every single player on that pitch was terrible. It's embarrassing that performance that we had. No, I'm out. None of that type of stuff. But I've been saying this, and my manager told us this too. He said the storm is here and the storm will come, and I expect it to get even worse than this. But we have to. He's got to find a way to try to make things work, and that's really what it is. I've come to a point where if the results continue like this in the Premier League, Ruben, just use the Premier League as a way to get into form and focus on Europa League, because that's the only way that you can try to salvage your season. That's our best way possible to try to get into Europe, because I don't think realistically we can, because I've been hearing about certain things like we can get to 6th and point differential and stuff like that. I personally don't think we can get to 6th. I think the highest we can be is probably 8th or 9th. These problems are going to continue. You'll see certain games where we'll play really well, or you'll see a good performance and all of that type of stuff. But then you'll have games like yesterday, and it's as simple as that. Xerxes doesn't know how to defend in a situation. Mazraoui, who I've been praising week in, week out, gives away a foolish penalty. Bruno Fernandes can't score after all those chances that he had. So this is just what's going to happen. And like I said, I'm patiently waiting for Ruben to get his players, because all the stuff that I see in the way that we're playing, it is an improvement to last season. It's a big improvement to last season. We're not conceding 20 shots like we were last season. We're actually able to have control of the game. It's stupid individual mistakes again and again, which are causing us to lose points. So this is what's going to happen. It's a storm. He told us we have to kind of just go through it. Players are getting phased out. This whole Rashford thing, I'm glad that all of this stuff is happening. So yeah, I'm patiently waiting till the summer, because that's where I will honestly, truly start judging him. To be honest, that's.
Can I ask you a question? Yeah, is it going to be tenable for him to finish 12th this season? Is it going to be tenable for Amran to finish 12th?
He's actually 13th, mate.
Even 30. So he's 13. Sorry,
So,
thank you for correcting me.
Like, you're basically like, if he finishes 12th this season, will he still be here at the job next season? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, I'm honestly asking that.
Yes.
I I can't lie to you. I'm not too sure if that's a tenable situation. I just don't see. For me, I'm not even saying,
But it's not even on him then. Then Ineos, why did you get him in the first place if you knew that this was going to be a failing project?
Because this is my issue, by the way. Because Shikh, you've had me say this before to you. Mm-hmm. He should not have come in now, bro. Because the problem you have now, is that there's going to be some level of expectation on him now to get something, but at the same time, you've also put him into a shit situation, where he's kind of overcrowed, but at the same time, so he's almost in like like catch-22. He's damned if you do and damned if you don't, if that makes sense. So
no, but I hear you.
I don't think to be to be honest, I think it's rival fans that are putting that on them. I think from what I'm looking at,
I would disagree though, Dayo.
I'm just saying, like, from my perspective of what I kind of see with what Ineos and Amarin are doing is they want to rebuild the entire thing. Amarin has not had the chance to bring his own players, so I don't think Ineos would be crazy enough to expect a magic or a madness from this crop of players who they themselves realized that they wanted to phase out in the first place. Because if they didn't, they would have kept Ten Hag and kept these players, right? But they got rid of Ten Hag, brought in a new manager, and I expect that they would at least in the next couple of windows give him the chance, which is coming maybe starting from January. If not, look at the summer. Maybe the goal they'll set for him this season is like what Shikh said right now is try to win the Europa Cup so that you can be in Europe again next season. And then in the summer, we will try and move on 4 or 5 players and bring in 4 or 5 of yours, and we see what we can do with that. But I don't think that anybody should be expecting any pressure to be put on this manager. Honestly speaking, they look a better United. Even in games that they lost.
We are a better United.
Even in games that they lose, right? They look a better. I told someone, I said, when we played them, if they had a Rashford or somebody, and I know you don't rate Rashford, in the first half, the way United played, they could have hit us on the counter twice. Like in that first half, I was just like, thank God he did not play any one of those players. So I think that Amorim, what he's doing so far is good.
Ainge Chester's it's a real thing. So sorry about that, Sheik. You had to get bounced out of one of them things by Ainge. But you know what?
Man,
Ainge don't lose versus Manchester teams. It's just what it is. That overhand right work in Manchester. I don't know. Maybe it's the elevation, the climate.
Yeah, man. I mean, when it comes to this is the worst possible situation for him, and that's why I'm not putting a lot of pressure on him. Like we just talked about this with Spurs, and this is what I said. How can you throw away Plan A when you've not really gotten the tools and all the resources to even try out Plan A? And that's the same situation for him. Is like, why would I judge him on what he's doing with this squad? That's not even his squad. Like this he's not even had an opportunity to get players that he has. But what I have seen in the past, and yes, this could be Sporting, is that team that he built, the Sporting team that we saw under Ruben Amorim in this season early, because now obviously I think they sacked their other manager that they just got after Ruben Amorim. But the players that we saw there and the way that they were playing is a result of him building that team. He got those guys like 2 or 3 seasons ago, and he's built that squad to where it is right now. And I feel like that's what I'm kind of waiting for. And this is also what I would say. Next season, he gets his players and we're in the same rut of form, then I will come out and criticize him and say that nothing has changed because now you've gotten the resources. We can't say that, oh, you weren't supported by anyone or you haven't been able to try out everything that you wanted to try out, because this is what we did with Ten Hag. Ten Hag's second season bought his players, shit players, and that's why we had the season that we had, and that's why we turned on him, because we had a great first season. I still say this now. That first season that Ten Hag had, we beat every single Big Six team at home. Like, we had the second best home record in the league, and then where he all messed it up was going into that summer transfer window, buying the wrong players and not even knowing how we're playing. So he just threw away all his philosophies and just said, yeah, we're going to focus on these players, because I think after Rashford scored 17 goals in a season and 30 goals in like the whole season, we can rely on him again, and he's going to do the same thing again. And that's the issue. And I think what Ruben is trying to do at this moment, call it a culture switch or not, but he's trying to get these players who are just not good enough and don't want to play for the team out of here, because there's no point for you guys to be here week in, week out, tell us that we play for the badge, this and that, all this like Manc born and bred bullshit. I'm tired of this, bro. We keep players off of these technicalities.
So you're saying he doesn't understand the club?
It's not that. It's okay. So we've kept Rashford here so long based off of the fact that he's Manc born and bred. He's had 2 seasons where he scored more than 15 goals. So are we just going to continue to keep him because he's Manc born and bred and he's one of our own? Look at what Chelsea did in their first season when they had the whole Clear Lake takeover. They got rid of someone who was one of their own, Mason Mount, and look at the situation that they're in right now. So that's how you have to move as a club. But
they drew to Everton.
No, but they're in a title race where no one expected them to be in a title race. That's the situation that they're in. When everyone was like, "Oh, you're buying all these players and you're selling all these players and all of that type of stuff," look at what situation that they're in right now, and no one's talking about that now, are they?
Well, speaking of situation, I heard you already got your new signing in, Ratatouille.
Hey man, he's not even a new signing though. He was here this whole time. That's why I'm like,
Bruno's family moved in. Is that what you're saying?
What I basically am saying is that everyone's talking about how there's a mice infection all of a sudden. There was always a mice infection. It was the day Bruno signed for us. So it is what it is.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah,
Bruno's
man, I mean,
family moved in.
Look,
Wow.
like this, Bruno is the forefront of our team. Make it make sense. That's all I really have to say. He's our captain. He's the one who represents our badge every time we play against, these big teams or whatever team that we do play. He's the one who's our representation on the pitch. So say what you want to say, man. This is how our club is moving forward. And people want to be like, oh, I see what Ineos is doing. Try to realize that we're in this situation actually because of Ineos. Because you didn't want to sack a manager after we won the FA Cup. And now you're picking into, we're going to do this or we're going to do that. We're taking away like vouchers from people who work at the club to try to make money. Like, and the roof is leaking while Amorim is doing a press conference. Like, oh, man. Look at the state of this club.
I didn't even hear that.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot you've missed out on.
You've
been shouting at the Ainge outers, Look at Amorim was doing a press conference, mid-press conference.
It was a leak. There was
no,
a leak. Yes.
No,
literally, just Google Amorim press conference right now.
He mentioned it.
No.
He literally mentioned it.
Search on YouTube Amorim roof. Just search it.
God dang it, man. What? I start working for the holidays just for a little bit, and I start missing all the good stuff. And then I'm yelling at the brick wall that is Spurs fans. Fucking idiots.
Okay, let me just do these super chats for a wrap up. There is a whole story that the definition of Spursy was going to be in the Oxford Dictionary in 2016.
I never heard that. And Oxford, that's where Daniel Levy went to college. So fuck them all.
Oh my god! How do you know this? Did he actually go to Oxford, or did you just make that up?
I've seen him in a big ass chair, a chair that's 6 sizes bigger than he is, and he's sitting in it in the Oxford Library being like, oh yes, I do love making money. And they're like, yeah, we love making money. And then they all clap and he's like, yeah, and I also made money. I fucking, all those old people that's been going to Tottenham their whole life, I just held them by their ankles and shook them until everything in their pockets came out. And guess what? I did that until they died. And that's how we make a bunch of money. And they're like, yeah.
He
So fuck
actually
Oxford.
studied at Cambridge. Fraud.
Yeah, well, look at Google Levy Oxford then, and you'll see the fucking interview I'm talking about. You see a big ass leather chair. I was literally, when this happened, I was like, I will fight Eric Dyer and Harry Winks in a boxing ring in the Oxford Library tonight. Let's get it set up. But no one wanted to. Eric Dyer, too busy getting pizza with David
How is your
Portnoy.
manager rocking Prada?
Hussam, I want to read out one definition here. It's from the Urban Dictionary. Spursy.
Manchester United.
Go to Urban Dictionary, Hussam, and type in Spursy.
Okay, let's Google this right now.
No,
my
Urban
fucking
Dictionary and type in Spursy.
Spursy meaning Oxford Dictionary.
No, Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, I'm there.
Mhm.
To capitulate for no apparent reason, like Tottenham Hotspur FC in the modern day Premier League between 2015 and 2019. The team was flying high and looked to achieve some notable feat, but then
No,
before
does
they
it said in
come to
recent
finish line,
history?
they start losing for no apparent reason. Use in a sentence, then suddenly it was over and they lost. It was so Spursy. Damn.
Wow. Damn, that actually sucks.
That does suck. You get me. Big up.
It's for the no apparent reason that kills me. It's like there's no reason why you should be losing.
No, but, I mean, yeah, there's no
it's
reason
funny,
why
though.
we should have lost some of that, and that's so.
They've given a full example. Like they put Spursy in a sentence as well. They're like, my team only got to the last 16. They're a bit Spursy. Like, anyways, it is what it
Well,
is.
again,
Nice
you're
off the
everyone's mother and grandma when they said Spursy, I meant successful. I'm all Spursy tonight, and guess what? It's red panty night, insemination night. If you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Means you're gonna bottle it.
Big up JW says mice off the pitch, rats on the pitch. Big up Bruno. You get me? Biggest rat. And I still own it till this day. Anyone who punches Bruno in the face, I'm buying his shirt. Let's go. Big up to you, JW. Thanks so much for the super chat. I am a hater like that. Anyway, regardless, big up to every single one of you guys. This was very
Vator, bro.
enjoyable.
Look at Vator.
Make sure you guys are liking the video. What does it say?
No, I'm just saying Vader is still not here. Like he just left.
Stop.
He just left.
Just left the thing on,
Yeah,
compromise.
just left it on, man.
You ain't got no past. Yeah, Habibi, ha. Here. How your manager rocking Prada, but the stadium is full of mice. Mice, Chester United.
It's like when you see the Lamborghini parked outside the trap house.
Ha ha ha.
Crazy, man.
But the trap house has no roof and it's constantly raining.
Guys, sing with me. He went for a shit. The Bridge Nation. He went
97.
for a
He
shit.
went
No,
for
I
a
actually
shit.
didn't. I had to
He
go.
went for
I
a
actually had
shit.
to-
He
went
went
for
for
a
a
shit.
shit.
Off in the Bridge
He
Nation,
went
quarter
for a
97.
for
He
a
went
shit.
for a shit.
I did not actually go to 8. I didn't. I actually went.
He's
to
taking
my
a
car.
shit. He's
He's taking a shit.
I'm
Yeah,
at
let's
Bridge
get-
Nation. You're taking
He
a
went
shit.
for a
No,
shit.
I actually had to go
Like Cole
outside.
Palmer in big games, he's taking a shit.
Wow, listen.
Cole Palmer
All I'm
was
gonna
hot
say,
Palmer.
all I'm gonna say, man. I had to put my electric car into the actual electric.
Yeah,
car.
Habibi, خلاص, no one will believe you.
Thank
No
you
one
very
will believe you.
much.
Don't worry about it.
Very
No one
much.
will believe
Just
you.
like you did kickboxing.
I hope. Did you
That's
wash
what
your
I had
hands?
to. No, I didn't go to the toilet, bro. I
Did you
actually
wash
went
your
to my
hands?
car. I had to
Anyway,
go to
big
my
up
car,
to every
bro.
single one of you guys. This was a very enjoyable stream.
Why do you have your air freshener behind you if you didn't go to the toilet?
Oh. Okay, let's see this.
That's
Let's
my
see
sister.
this.
That's literally the camera.
That's cologne.
Who did
That's
that?
cologne.
Who did
That's cologne. Yeah, that's cologne.
No
Yeah,
one
what
saw
are you
that.
talking about? That's what I thought.
Anyway,
Man.
regardless, bro, it's okay. Everyone takes a shit. Even
But I
like,
actually didn't. I
bro,
actually
Rihanna
Bro,
shits
the
for
finest
United.
girl you've ever seen in your life, she took a shit today. I promise you.
Yeah, Rihanna
Believe me,
shits. Can
if
you
I go,
imagine?
if I went to the loo, I'll be self snitching. But I actually had to go to put my car in charge. I
Hey,
don't
Amber
believe
Heard
me.
took one in Johnny Depp's room, so it is what
Exactly.
it is.
That's what I'm saying.
Allegedly.
Man.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Anyway, big up to all of you guys. This has took a left turn. Thank you guys so much for watching us. Shikh TV is in the description. Go subscribe. He's doing Mud Brothers. Banter on the pitch in the description. Go subscribe. The Bridge Nation in the location. I hope he flushed his toilet. Go subscribe. Go subscribe to United Spurs of America. Subscribe
If
to
it's
Vator
yellow,
Games
it's
TV.
mellow. If it's brown,
Oh my
flush it
God, what are
down.
we doing?
Oh,
And subscribe to Lewis and Egal's channels. There's also in the description. This stream is going to take you over to Ahmed, the fraud. He's going live. You get me? You have to get that fraud monetized. So go over there and spam his chat with Diallo. Actually,
fraud.
okay, he loves Diallo.
the fraud Diallo, man.
Diallo overrated. Done. خلاص,
Or,
yeah, just
or like
copy paste
Madueke
this
is
message.
shit. Madueke.
Diallo overrated.
Man,
So
I
we
think
can
it's
fish
clear.
him.
We don't even need to discuss that, man.
Yeah.
Diallo couldn't save him from the Ainge train.
Diallo, Diallo.
Listen, when you come to the bridge, yeah, I'm telling you.